15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
All right, that's it. 1 week. That's all we have to go for Micah Parsons and the Cowboys to figure this whole thing out, and it's getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Feels so good to be back with you guys after I was on vacation for a couple days. But Pearl, what the heck's going on here? Did you get the memo to Jerry Jones that the season starts a week from today and he needs a star pass rusher?
Maggie, don't you realize what's happening? They're producing another chapter in the Netflix documentary in real time. We're getting to see play out. And I got to be honest, I have to admit I might have been wrong because you've been telling me that this Micah thing might not work out cleanly. And guess what? It's already not working out cleanly. We're 7 days away from them coming to Philly to play their first game. And he was spotted at an airport yesterday. He wants a second opinion on his back. He's arguing over money. He filed an official grievance. Nothing is going right here.
No, and let's pause on the back issue stuff because, first of all, you're a week out from the season, so any thought of Micah Parsons playing a full game against the Philadelphia Eagles in the opener, kiss that goodbye.
Yeah.
So if you're actually in a close game, if you actually do need some kind of a pass rush against Jalen Hurts, well, I don't know if you're going to have Micah Parsons in the most crucial moments in the game. This is really going to fall on Brian Schottenheimer, who, again, has never been in this spot ever to try to, load manage or pitch count Micah Parsons, if he gets on the field. Okay, now let's talk about this mysterious back injury that has now become a big topic. So the Cowboys came out and made a big deal about saying that Micah Parsons is medically cleared. Okay. I don't remember the back issue actually being a thing. I thought this was just some sort of like a language you've got to use. Like, hey, why are you holding in or holding out? I don't know. It's my back. Anyway, they make
kind of like Terry McLaurin had some injury.
Yes, I'm like,
yeah, in Washington.
Whatever. It's like you got to say something. So it turns out that the Cowboys are now saying, no, he's medically cleared. So kind of putting some pressure on Parsons to actually participate in practice. Then we see Micah Parsons spotted by multiple people at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Now, they don't have practice again until Friday, tomorrow, presumably flying where is he flying? To get a second opinion on his back? Yeah. Now we've got twin things to be panicked about if you're a Cowboy fan. One, Parsons is still with no contract, and Jerry picked the wrong guy to tangle with. And two, okay, maybe this back issue is actually more serious than we thought.
So he got an MRI last Friday, and they said it was pretty clean. I still think the back, if I had to guess, because I'm cynical like you. Yeah. I'm actually cynical because I've been sitting next to you for a couple years now.
It rubs off.
That I think the back is being, how do I say this, emphasized because of the contract situation. So I think that he is just miserable in every possible way. He reportedly went to get a second opinion. I think it's out there. I'm not worried about his back. I'm worried about them really not getting on the same page. So the Cowboys, we know, famously signed guys really late. They signed Dak on September 11th or something, or September 10th. They signed CD right before the season. They signed Zeke Elliott like hours before a game. Yeah. So, they don't mind going up until the very deadline. But I'm not worried about the back. I'm more worried about the contract. I do think with 7 days left to play, like they're both playing chicken and they've gone too far. And this is going to affect them, not just for week one, but week two as well. So, and this is a Cowboys team who is very marginal to make the playoffs anyway. Like we're looking at them as a 9-8, 10-7 team realistically, in my opinion. So if we're talking about 2 weeks affecting Micah Parsons, that's a big deal.
Yeah, because you know what? Even if you're a Cowboy fan, and even deep down or not so deep down, you're like, we're going to lose that game to Philadelphia, right? Even if you think we're a 7.5 point underdog, we've been a 7.5 point underdog, and this is not a winnable game, and we'll just chalk it up to 0-1 and then kind of get on with the season. What happens if you lose to Manny's Cowboys in week 2? Because that's at home, and that's against Russell Wilson. And I'm going to be honest.
Manny's Giants.
Manny's Giants. What did I say? Manny's
Manny's
Cowboys. Sorry,
Cowboys.
Manny's
Yeah.
Manny's
I was
Giants.
like trying to look at the schedule.
I'm back from vacation.
Are you saying that Dallas Cowboys beat themselves? Because I could go with that.
I must have salt water still in my brain. But anyway, no, Manny's Giants. What happens if you lose that second game? You don't think there's a little more, agita around everybody? Because the vibes for the Giants can't be better right now. They got a pass rush, wide receivers, Jackson Dart's the guy,
be better.
all of this.
I think you're the only person in America that doesn't think that's going to be 35-7 Dallas.
I'm just saying, you lose that game. What did we think was going to happen last year when Dallas played New Orleans Saints? They came in and they blew the doors off of them. To think that you can just check off these early games as automatic W's, like the ones you're air quotes supposed to win, that is a dangerous game. You just said it. The Cowboys are going to be a marginal, if they even make the playoffs, it's going to be by the skin of their teeth. You cannot afford to lose that week 2 game against the Giants. And if Micah Parsons is either not there, not 100%, can't play a full game, then the New York Giants can absolutely come into Dallas and can absolutely win that game.
Well, I mean, listen, if they lose to the Giants, a team that they've owned beyond owned. I mean, like if the Giants, I know last year where the Cowboys were struggling, the games were respectable, but usually the Cowboys blow out the Giants.
I don't think the Giants have beat the Cowboys in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's like 40-0, right? That's typical.
Oh, yeah.
But last year was an exception. They were closer than normal. Mm-hmm. Like, if they lose that game, it's over. Like, if they lose to the Giants, a team that that's a gimme, that's a check for the Cowboys, then the season's over.
Well, I'm just saying that's what's at stake right now. Like, if you were asking what is so important, this is what we're talking about, these early season games. And then you go to at Chicago, and then Green Bay. You've got these NFC games that are all right there. And if Micah Parsons is not back on the field, and not just back on the field, you can't just be ceremoniously back on the field. You've got to be back and effective.
Yep.
And they've already blown that. And people wonder, Jerry waiting around to do these deals. Oh, what's the harm? He gets them done anyway. Well, this is the harm. Because if he's going to play, 15 to 20 snaps in week 1, not ideal. He's actually skirted this issue a little bit with some of the other big deals where the guys have actually come out and performed. Well, because Dak Prescott, first of all, you're the quarterback. There's an expectation there that he had to keep practicing and had to keep playing.
He practiced, right.
Of course.
Now, and CeeDee Lamb, I think, I don't know if there was a ramp up. Obviously, he had a great season. Yeah, there was. But, he had I think he had 100 catches despite Dak being out. So he was good last year. And Zeke was okay the year that he held out. This Micah thing feels different than those. It feels worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is the personality of Micah Parsons. Jerry kind of met his match, right? Dak and CD are, I would say, on the quiet side as far as NFL personalities, where Micah is on the opposite side. He's in media. He's the chief editor of BR Gridiron. Guy there's not a mic or a camera that he does not love. He's really fun, and he's just sort of like the player version of Jerry Jones. And the two of them are like magnets. They're totally banging against each other here. Magnets like the opposite when when the poles are the same side. Yes. Yeah. So I just think that this situation is a little unique and different than the other Cowboys situations. And I didn't think that. I thought it was going to be just like Terry McLaurin and just like Trey Hendrickson. Eventually the other big-time holdouts signed. But Micah, I think, is a mess. And, they practice tomorrow, Maggie. If he is not on that field and practicing, then I am downgrading my Cowboys playoff chances.
You absolutely should. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So if you were somebody who thought, this is just going to get resolved, nothing to see here, are your thoughts starting to change now that you see Micah Parsons getting a second opinion on his back? Apparently had a 1-hour meeting with Brian Schottenheimer on Sunday where they went over stuff. But listen, you're not going to make the guy practice unless he's got a new deal. And by the way, he also has this other grievance that he's filed against the NFL because the Cowboys are trying to, pay his 5th-year option as a pass rusher as opposed to a linebacker, which is costing him $3.5 million. So there's just a lot of different angles to this of why feelings are hurt or why people are kind of in their feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I tell you one other thought? And I don't know if you shared this thought. The fact that game is 7 days away, I'm like, wait, what? NFL football is going to be here in 7 days, Maggie.
Yeah, listen,
by the way,
college has already started.
I know, college football is tonight. Yeah. We're going to see college football. And I know week 0 already started, but Those games, it feels like, doesn't it still feel like summer? Actually, that was one of my takeaways from the Micah Parsons story. I'm like, are you sure that first game is in 7 days?
No, it's definitely still summer. We're not doing the fall. It's August. It's definitely still summer, but we're getting there. Can I tell you, because I know you were watching the Jerry Jones Netflix documentary really closely. I haven't finished it yet, but I did get to watch a little bit while I was on vacation because that's the kind of winner that I am. That's how I choose to spend my time.
Are you kidding me?
Can I tell you what my biggest takeaway was as I'm watching this? Jerry's selling the Cowboys. This was my biggest takeaway. I'm watching this documentary and I'm watching Jerry talk about, they call the Netflix doc the gambler, right? The risks that he took. His origin story as far as it pertains to the Dallas Cowboys. The lore, reminding people of all of the good times, right? And there just haven't been enough good times in the last 20 years by Cowboys standards. It's just not good enough for them to make the playoffs or get to the wild card game and lose or get to the divisional round and lose. Like, that's not good enough for the Cowboys. That standard changed. Tom Landry set a standard, but then obviously Jimmy and Jerry together had their own standard. And it reminded me of when you're about to sell your house and you want to paint, spruce up the fence, you want to repave the driveway, you want to maybe get new windows, something like that to try to up the resale value of your home. That's what I feel like this Netflix documentary is doing for the Cowboys. I think Jerry gets wistful and gets teary-eyed when he talks about running the Cowboys with his kids because he knows it's not for long. The LA Lakers just sold for $10 billion, okay?
And without even stadium rights.
Just the team.
Yeah.
The time is now. Mark Cuban sold. The Celtics sold.
Right.
And not all these businesses that we think are definitely going to the heirs actually happens. The Cowboys, like Jerry's offspring, his kids, they're in their 60s. He tells us they've been behind the scenes. They've been a huge part of making these deals. Like, they've lived their life as Dallas Cowboys employees. I think you strike while the iron's hot here and you sell this thing and cash out. Like, EJ, I know, loves WWE. I think everyone thought WWE was definitely going to the kids. Didn't go to the kids. Went to Endeavor, some big company. Everyone thought Rupert Murdoch's going to pass down to his kids. He sold a lot of Fox off to Disney. Like, sometimes the succession plans don't go exactly how you think. And when I'm watching this Jerry Jones Netflix doc, I'm like, wow, I think this is one big for sale sign. Clean up the whole history of the Cowboys, hang that for sale sign, and watch the $12, $13 billion offers roll in.
So what is Jerry Jones going to do with the rest of his life if he sells the Cowboys?
The rest of his life? He's 82. I mean, no offense.
So
he
why
lived
would
for
he
another
sell
10 years, but...
So are you talking about Jerry Jones, why he's alive and still GM of the Cowboys he's going to sell?
So I think what I've learned from this Netflix doc is that Jerry, A, is a risk taker, loves to zag when everyone thinks he's going to zig, and can see an opportunity when it presents itself.
What an opportunity. They've been the hottest team for 25 years. Like, what do you mean the iron is hot now? Like, they could have sold for whatever they wanted forever.
But not $10 billion as the
Well,
as
they
the,
would.
as
So if the Lakers
floor.
are for $10 billion, they would go for what, 16, 17 billion?
I mean, is that offer always going to be there?
Why would Jerry want that money?
I just think there's a time. First of all, it's a ton of money, and if are we sure that the three kids certainly feel that same need to A, have the spotlight, B, be the owners of the Dallas Cowboys? Do we even know which one's actually taking over? Is it Steven for sure? Okay.
Yeah,
but there's also Jerry Jr., there's also Charlotte. I mean, it's not even that I think that something bad is going on. I'm not even like, not that they're even fighting behind the scenes. This just felt to me like when you spruce up your house before you put it on the market.
Don't forget, I had two sons, right?
Your logic totally follows. But I just don't understand. First of all, nobody's selling in the NFL. The NBA is obviously distressed. They got their big deal, which was kind of empty dollars, right? Totally overvalued.
Yeah, well, the Broncos sold recently. That was for $6 billion or $6 billion. That was to the Walmart family, right?
Right, but why did they sell? It wasn't a similar situation.
Yeah, the patriarch passed away.
Yeah. So if Jerry dies, of course that's a topic. But you think, but Jerry's not going to sell the Cowboys while he's alive.
I don't know if these $16 billion offers are going to be here forever.
For the NFL, yeah. I mean, the Cowboys will probably just go up. They want to wait like 10 years, what, 20, 25 billion?
I just think, why do you think the Lakers sold?
Because because I know this because I watched the Kate Hudson show.
Yeah, which is a very
They were
fictionalized.
all-
That's Mindy Kaling's portrayal.
That is gospel because all the buses are on completely different pages. Basically, Dr. Bus gave it to his daughter, and the brothers were not happy. And they had the equal stake, so they were all totally in disagreement about how this should work. And they're not worth like a fraction of what the Cowboys are an empire. They make so much money. Like even as a business idea to sell might not make sense. They're printing money in Dallas. Yeah,
I don't think the Lakers were hurting for money.
I do. Like the bus, like the whole bus thing was a mess, right?
No, it's a mess. It's definitely not like the Cowboys, but
the Cowboys are so much more financially
why did
solid.
the Celtics sell? Like, why did
Because
Mark
something's
Cuban
wrong.
sell the Mavericks?
Because
Like,
the NBA seems like they're in a bubble.
okay, and I'm sure that the NFL is a lot more steady, but
I mean,
I don't know.
I feel like they're totally different things. Like selling the Celtics and selling the Lakers, big deal in NBA terms, but they're minor league teams compared to the Cowboys.
Celtics are, the franchise is iconic. It's a different sport, so you have to put it as a different expectation. But Celtics are an iconic franchise as well. And that was a team that had been passed down from one generation to the next generation. And then they looked at it and said, $6 billion? Yeah, we'll take it.
Nobody even knew who was the Celtics owner.
Wick Grossbeck,
And who was it before?
his father,
How long have they owned the team?
35 years since
I-
around the year 2000, I think, is when the family bought the team.
So you're saying the Grossbecks were as high profile as the Jones?
Well, Jerry,
I thought Red Auerbach owned the team for a while. Or he just ran the team.
Jerry will be the most high-profile everything, right? Now that George Steinbrenner has passed away many years ago, there will not be another owner who's as high-profile. I just saw that Netflix doc and I thought, oh man, this is a play to sell. And I think I've been right on a couple of Jerry things before, right? What his motivations are, I don't think is what they seem to be. And especially winning, because winning can't be the motivation, or else they wouldn't run their team this way. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Maybe it's Saudis. Maybe it's that oil money. I mean, Jerry knows that business better than anybody.
Jerry's not selling the team while he's running it. Like, the dude wants to be GM.
He's playing GM. Is he doing a good job?
What difference does that make?
Well, I'm just saying.
Has he been doing a good job since 2004?
Not really.
That's 20 years.
Yeah.
Has that
not
ever
really.
stopped him before?
I think, there's a saying, and it's a cliche, that everyone has a price. And I believe that to be true, and I think that Jerry Jones has a number in mind.
I'd be shocked if he would just be like, I'm okay not being relevant anymore. That'd be your logic totally follows. You're right. The Lakers, I'm sort of playing devil's advocate there. It's a similar situation in some ways, but for Jerry to disappear away from the cameras, that seems insane to me. Like that's what he lives for. That's his oxygen. Like you're cutting away his oxygen. I feel like if he sold the Cowboys, he would die in like Joe Paterno in months.
Ooh, 888-710-4ISN. I'm not alleging that. 888-710-4476. I think there's a number. I think everyone's got one.
I mean, how much money do you think they have?
Well,
they have a lot of money because they're not like the NBA. They like make money during the season. I'm serious. No, the NFL teams are much more profitable. Like NBA, MLB, NBA makes a little bit, but NFL actually, like the owners get revenue all the time.
Yes, they are
like,
extremely rich.
They're different than the other sports in that way. So they have money. They don't need the money. I just think it's totally different. Maybe you're right. Listen, I could eat my words here, but it feels like Jerry disappearing from the public spotlight, if he's still physically viable, it doesn't seem even possible to me.
888-710-4ISN. Get things going with the Cowboys today. Is this Micah Parsons thing just completely off the rails? Number one, the latest, getting a second opinion on a back injury spotted at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport yesterday. And the season's a week away. He's not playing a full game against the Philadelphia Eagles. He can't possibly get ramped up in time to actually play a full NFL game. So you're already feeling the effects of this contract impasse. And then my thought here, watching the Jerry Jones documentary, that I think Jerry's fixing to sell. Okay, lots more to do, including we will get to college. All the amazing games for week one right on the table for us. Can't believe it's here. We'll get to that and more next. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
this world were mine.
What it all comes down to is this. Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
It's gonna be a good day with Maggie and Perloff.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie presented a really strong case that Jerry Jones might have been using that Netflix documentary to polish up the Cowboys so he could sell them.
Yeah.
You know, he answered some questions about selling the team this offseason and said he would never do it, but Jerry lies, so I don't know what that means. But he said...
I think Jeannie Buss probably would have said they're not selling also if she was asked, 18 months before they actually sold.
One other thing Jerry said, somebody asked, well, when you pass, will the kids sell it like Lakers style? He said he has a plan in place that won't let them do that. So here's my thing. He's going to try to control the Cowboys from the grave. Like Jerry will not let go.
Rich people suck.
This is what happens. You hit one oil well and you feel like, you're God.
By the way, there are amazing things about the Jerry documentary. That oil well, I think, is a little bit overrated. Because if he hadn't hit that oil well, he was getting back in the NFL. And I'll tell you this. Did you see the part when he was 28 years old? He almost borrowed money from Jimmy Hoffa and the Teamsters to buy the Chargers.
Yeah, how do you think that was going to end?
By the way, I thought that was just a lie. Then I asked my friend, he's like, yeah, that really happened. No, I'm just saying, like, he would have gotten back in. Like, if he had missed that oil well, you think Jerry would have stopped? He was going to own an NFL team. He was very clear about that.
Yeah.
The guy had been up and down a million times financially. He had sold RVs for a while. Like... He's not an oil man. He's an anything that he could sell man. He's he was getting into the NFL. The funny thing is, tell me if you agree with this takeaway. It's not just that he fired Jimmy Johnson. It's also the salary cap came in 1994. He sure hasn't mastered the salary cap in 30 years.
Yeah, you think? I mean, the fact that we're still talking about how you're going to fit every last dollar from Micah Parsons in when they've had years to plan for this.
Yeah, it's like when they were bragging about bringing in Charles Haley and Deion Sanders in the 90s a lot. They overspent other teams on those guys. They outbid the Niners. In a cap world, that's really hurt the Cowboys. But you saw by 96, they lost a lot of guys. Mainly because of salary cap reasons. So I think it's an underrated part. Everyone's like, it's just because he fired Jimmy. I don't think that's the only reason that they haven't won in 30 years.
And you want to know what makes it even more of a starker contrast is the fact that a team in your own division appears to be running circles around you when it comes to the financial stuff, and that's the Eagles. Somehow the Eagles have figured this out. And yeah, Howie Roseman's been there for a long time, but how do they keep navigating this cap situation in a perfect way, superstar after superstar hitting on draft picks? Even when they don't hit on draft picks, they're able to rebound and kind of save themselves. I just think that makes it even worse.
I'll take that as an Eagles fan, but that's a little more recency bias. It's been since 1995 since they've been in the NFC title game.
Yeah, but even the Eagles were in the NFC Championship game year after year after year. It was just that Andy Reid couldn't get over the hump. The Eagles have been more of a mainstay and more of a threat by 100-fold than the Cowboys have. And then the Giants go on 2 amazing runs. Now the Commanders have their quarterback. It just feels like everything is kind of falling in on the Cowboys. All of their warts are being really exposed with this Micah Parsons latest thing. And by the way, there's a little fatigue here because it's year after year after year. Can I tell you another thing, opinion that I came to on vacation?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I don't know if we're going to see Shedeur this year. I thought we would definitely see Shedeur at some point this year. And I want to say props and kudos to Dylan Gabriel for winning that backup job because Kenny Pickett got traded away.
Yeah.
And he's a third-round quarterback who normally, I don't know if we would expect that a third-round quarterback would win a backup job even, right?
Really?
Usually those, it depends. It depends what your situation is. So kudos to Dylan Gabriel who, with Kenny Pickett hamstring injury kind of opened the door. But I'm not so absolutely positive. The last game for sure. I don't want to put too much on a preseason game, but it was all the bad things, right?
Now
with
you don't want to put too much on a preseason game.
Yeah, now I don't. But it's it was all the bad with not the good to balance it out.
I disagree, by the way. I don't think Dylan Gabriel, there's no kudos to him. He was winning that job. They came into camp. He was the 3rd-round pick. Shedeur was a 5th-round pick. There's no way that Shedeur was going to pass him. They made that clear in a million different ways.
No, not about Shedeur. I'm saying that Dylan Gabriel showed enough in the preseason to beat out Pickett. Like, we talked about this. Pickett had the hamstring injury, but, like, the Raiders just traded a 5th-round pick for him, so obviously they think, he's got some value.
Well, by the way, can we talk about, like, a liar? Andrew Berry, the GM of the Browns, during that game said that we figured it out. We're going to keep 4 quarterbacks. And then turns around and trades the 4th quarterback because no one's ever kept 4 quarterbacks. So, like, we were all kind of trying to squint and figure this out. So that was a lie. But they were always going to trade one of these quarterbacks, possibly.
Yeah, I guess to think that we have a handle or grip on anything that the Browns are doing when it comes to their quarterback situation, like, it seems like they say one thing one day, another. I think all the criticism, or a lot of the criticism of the Browns, has been fully warranted here with how they've handled this. And I don't know if it's going to be as easy as we are definitely going to see Shedeur. Maybe if Jimmy Haslam steps in, if the owner steps in because they need to sell tickets. But I don't know.
I think we will, because it's a long season. You see pretty much every quarterback gets on the field at some point. If they have this brutal start to the schedule. If they start out 1-4, 1-5, then I think it's going to look different, because Dylan Gabriel will get in there. I don't know if he can win games with this team. And then you're telling me week 16, 17, 18, you're not going to be tempted if you're the Browns? So you think, no, I'd definitely do a show bet. I'm pretty confident he'll get on the field, because a lot of Browns quarterbacks historically get on the field, like Shedeur, Snoop Huntley. He's probably be back. I see all Bailey Zappi's there now. I feel like we're going to see 5 quarterbacks for the Browns.
The one thing that did make me a little nervous about this is watching Joe Flacco go down when he took a sack in that 3rd preseason game. It's like, oh, yeah, big man go down hard. Like,
Joe Flacco?
You don't think he's in any danger, Pearl, because he gets rid of the ball so fast, but he still took a big sack in that preseason game. Like, he's 40, man. Like,
yeah, but he's arguably one of the most durable quarterbacks ever.
Well, he hasn't played a full season in a long time. He has
not
because
of skill, not because of injury.
He hasn't been asked to play a full season, right? Not because of injury, but because that just has not been the assignment. So let's say he needs to play 10 games, 11 games this year. Are we sure he's actually going to hold up? He went down, and I was like, oh, he looked old when he went down on that sack.
First of all, he looked amazing in that game. What a cannon Joe Flacco has. Elite. He answered the elite question. Secondly, why? I mean, Brett Favre didn't get hurt at 40. Tom Brady never got hurt at 40. Well, actually, did Favre get a little banged up in his last year? But
yeah, he got knocked out.
Yeah. But the year that he was good, remember he had one good year in Minnesota? Like, these guys are, I don't know.
You don't see any difference between Brett Favre and Joe Flacco?
No. Physically, no. I think Flacco's probably a little safer than Favre. Favre would stay in there to the last second and bomb it downfield. Yeah, well, no, I don't. Why is Joe Flacco a particular injury risk?
I thought Brady was an injury risk, by the way. Brady just goes down, and Flacco may do the same thing. Like, Brady won't even allow you to sack him because he would just get down.
Yeah, I feel like the statue quarterbacks seem kind of safe to me.
The last year with Brady, what was everyone saying? He was seeing the rush. Like, he did not want to hang in there. That was the biggest reason we knew that he was actually going to hang it up. Anyway, just a couple things from vacation. I don't think we're seeing Shedeur this year.
I feel like you've kind of done a 180 on Shedeur.
Kind of. No, not because of him. I don't trust, because of him a little bit, but also I don't trust anything with the Browns. I don't think the left hand knows what the right hand's doing, or who's calling the shots, or what's going on with that quarterback situation. I've just lost all hope, I guess, is a better way to put it.
What do you think of Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback? Because I think you were pretty high on him after that first preseason game.
I was, and I'm a little lower now because it felt like the mistakes and the negative stuff coming out about him in college felt a little more on the table, even though he was playing deeper into the game, presumably against more backups, although he probably had more backups on the offensive line and such. He's dancing back there. He's going backwards instead of forwards, and we did not see some of those signature baller throws that looked really impressive from the first preseason game.
Yeah, it's preseason. Said don't overreact to the positive, and definitely don't overreact to the negative. And also, here's the thing: Shedeur's not a kid. Like, he's 24. He's going to be ready to go. He'll play this year. I'll bet you he'll play, and it'll probably be messy because it's a Brown situation. Dylan Gabriel will also play. I think everybody gets a shot. Bailey Zappi is there now. He'll get in. He might get in ahead of Shedeur. That'll be controversial. Snoop Huntley. Did you see the Ravens sign Snoop Huntley?
Yeah.
Snoop Huntley will come back into the mix. Maybe Tim Couch comes out of retirement. This is the Cleveland Browns, Maggie.
Tim Couch.
You and I might play quarterback for this team. Who
about Johnny
knows what's going
Manziel?
This is 18 games of this.
Let's get
What's
to
Bernie Kosar doing?
Andrew Bogish.
Get Brady Quinn from Big Noon Football. Big Noon Saturday.
Just hang around. Let's get to Bogish, who's got headlines. What's up, Bogish?
Guys, good morning. All the headlines sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, who protects small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com.
Yankees equally suck as much as the Mets, and I can't say a word.
Well, the Mets at the moment do not stink. They are not the Yankees. They're not the Red Sox, the Cubs, the Cardinals. They're not a historical baseball franchise.
Got
but
that
they
right, brother.
have had Tom Seaver, Dwight Gooden, Jacob deGrom, and some other good homegrown starting pitchers. But none of them had won their first 3 career starts until Nolan McLean.
The 0-1 pitch. Bader taps it slowly out towards the mound. McLean bare hands, throws to first, got him. Side retired. On 95 pitches, exactly what he was budgeted for, Nolan McLean walks off the mound in his 3rd big league start, having shut out the Philadelphia Phillies.
Emphasis on the Phillies. No runs, 4 hits, 6 Ks, over 8 from McLean. The Mets a 6-0 win for a 3-game sweep of those Phils, who have now dropped 10 straight games in Queens. Philly manager Rob Thompson did not resign postgame.
It's one series, and I know it's against the Mets, but, and admittedly so, we need to play better, but, we will. We got a good club, and that's not going to change.
If you're scoring at home, much like Perloff blaming the dry heat of a Super Bowl on a late-season Eagles collapse, the Phillies have, the last 2 days, blamed a parabolic mic in center field and where the Mets batters were standing in the on-deck circle for some of their struggles over the last few days.
What bums.
Yeah.
But the Mets are clearly peaking too soon here. This is a
The
total
Mets are now
mistake. I feel
4
really
games
good about this.
Sure.
behind the Phils in
It's
the
August.
division.
There's going to be 7 more twists and turns in this season, and you guys, you Mets fans, treat every day like it means something. It's such a long season. Trust me, this is good for the Phils. Wake-up call.
The Mets have a 4.5-game cushion as well on the Reds now for the last NL wildcard spot since the losing at Dodger Stadium last night 5-1. Shohei Ohtani earned his first win as a Dodger, allowing just 1 run over 5, striking out 9. The Dodgers have a 2-game lead atop the NL West this morning because the Padres lost in Seattle 4-3, giving the Mariners the Vetter Cup.
I'll wait on in the dark for you to speak to me. I'll open up, release me.
Manny, this is a band called Pearl Jam. Their lead
Are we playing
singer,
the whole song? What are we? Like, are we an alt rock station now?
Pearl Jam is our March Madness bracket. What are you talking about?
Okay, right. So Eddie Vedder has connections to both Seattle and San Diego. This has become a yearly thing. I believe the Mariners get
And he's a Cubs fan. Do they get in the mix here or no?
So he's got his own Cubs stuff going on, but Pearl Jam is a Seattle band.
Yeah.
I think San Diego is his second home. So
he's right.
But he is from Chicago. He is a Cubs fan. He's a Bears fan.
Yeah.
But he also has deep roots in both of these two cities. And they only play 1 series a year. And I believe somebody got a guitar for
That's
winning
cool.
this series.
I want to go back to Shohei for a second.
Please.
The Phillies getting swept by the Mets hurt me as a Phillies fan. Shohei being awesome last night hurt me even more because I've been arguing he shouldn't pitch, and he's been bad. Like, he's been pretty bad. I thought they were about to shut it down because he's been ineffective. Then last night, he's back to Cy Young form. What the heck? My Shohei should only hit argument took a major blow last night. I will admit that, but I'm not letting go.
But it's almost like you're rooting for him to get hurt then. Or
I don't want him to get hurt.
Bad to happen.
He was ineffective his last several starts. Like, it wasn't going well. So I kind of thought, like, I much prefer that. I like seeing him as a hitter. So I just want to, again, I still believe, like, the better he pitches, the more he risks his health. I really believe that. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, this is the number 1 hitter of our generation. And you're taking a gigantic risk by putting him out there, throwing 99 miles an hour. And the fact that he is good in this regular season game, you know what? Is he risking his elbow for the playoffs? And I don't know. I still believe, like, this is kind of crazy.
Asia Wilson had 34 points and 10 rebounds last night. Her Aces extended their win streak to 12, 81-75 in Atlanta. This run has Vegas all the way up to number 2 overall in the W. And we've got some tennis drama to address this morning. A couple of different stories. The first one, we'll take you back to Sunday night, and Daniil Medvedev a little bit angry at the chair umpire.
He wants to go home, guys. He doesn't like to be here. He gets paid by the match, not by the hour.
That's what he yelled into the courtside camera during the dispute. Medvedev has now been fined $42,500, which is less than half of his paycheck for losing in the first round.
The fact that he lost that match, that's... You can't be calling out the umpire like that and making a big scene. Did they stop the match for 6 minutes at one point?
Because of the booing of him for being a baby.
Well,
the fans wouldn't stop booing, and he was egging them on, and that led to a 6-minute delay.
But then you lose. That's a letdown.
But he won that game. He saved the match point, won that game, won the set to avoid losing in 3, then won the 4th set, and then lost in the 5th. So he gets $30,000 for freaking out, and then the other $12,500 is for destroying his racket after losing.
It's his racket. Why does he have to pay for that?
Racket abuse not allowed.
Why is he making such a racket?
I'll see myself out.
Wow, dad jokes. You're not even a dad.
Manny just see himself out. You can stay.
Oh, all right. I'll see you guys.
Okay,
I don't want to be here anymore.
Wait, I'm on the board.
Wait, catch us up with what happened last night. Yesterday.
I've got a lot of other stuff for that.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a lot of audio.
I thought you were doing both stories right now.
No. I got to spread those out. The other one involves 3 different bits of audio, so that needs its own time.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the ladies getting into it.
Yeah.
We had a great dad joke the other day that I'm still telling other people. Gordon Damer was sitting in for Andrew Bogish, and Gordon said, Tommy Cutlets is now Tommy Cut. Loved it. It was great. It stopped Manny in his tracks.
You can always remember the day you got spit on by Billy Martin.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you had to be there. Maybe it wasn't that good a dad joke. In the moment, Manny, it was a good dad joke.
I giggled.
Yeah.
It was very good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Good job, Gordon.
But now
making
DeVito's
a racket
back,
was
by the
good.
way.
I'm jealous. I wish I'd come up with that.
Hey, you're welcome, America.
I thought you were going to say something like Tommy Cutlets went to Tommy Chop Liver or something like that. Another sandwich joke.
No,
That
good
was
dad
awful.
jokes.
Yeah, that was awful.
Guys.
Welcome back, Maggie.
I mean, I'm sorry Gordon's not here to defend himself, but that's not that great.
You had to be here. You had to be here.
It was phenomenal work.
Tommy
Maggie.
Cutlets went to Tommy Chop Liver. That's a work in progress
Yeah,
right there.
that one's not good.
Fine. You guys have no taste.
With all due respect, that's awful.
Hey, I don't think you meant that. Bogish, thank you so much. We'll get more tennis drama next hour. Meanwhile, man, Deion Sanders, this is actually happening, guys. Year 3, Deion.
Do you believe in that?
No Travis, no Shador, but a whole lot of trash
No
talk.
Shiloh, Maggie. Come on. Stop
Shiloh.
forgetting Shiloh.
What about Shiloh?
Although, does Shiloh still have any eligibility? Because he got cut by the Bucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Too bad that doesn't work in reverse.
Deion's got a plan on that one. He revealed the other day. He's just not telling us what it is.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Big plan. What is it? Can't tell you.
He's going to be some sort of social media manager, we believe.
He's going to be Deion Jr.'s associate.
Yeah.
We need a plan for that?
Shiloh's got a lot of skills you don't know about, Maggie. That's the actual direct quote, right?
not just using his whole body as a human missile.
Yeah.
I think we've seen that one. All right, let's get to Deion. There's more to unpack with Colorado next. Maggie and Perloff Show.
Oh my God.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Daily. Do you believe that?
Deion.
You believe that?
Checking in with Deion Sanders. Season opens for Colorado tomorrow. Friday game against Georgia Tech. First, Deion feeling good about both of his quarterbacks if, you're just getting back up to speed with Colorado. Obviously, Shador is gone. So it's going to be, it was between Caden Salter, who had transferred from Liberty after being their starter for 3 years. And there's a 5-star true freshman, Julian Lewis, Juju Lewis. Here's how Deion said the quarterback battle plays out.
Feeling darn good about it. We got two guys that are capable of getting the job done. Caden Salter's going to start. You guys knew that. I don't know why you tried to play like he was going to start.
Caden's off the chain.
Okay. So, Coach, you're announcing it. So there you go. That's the announcement. But Deion also saying that he hopes that Juju Lewis will also get to play, but he's got to see how the game unfolds.
We're praying and we're hoping that you see some Juju periodically through the game as well. We would like to get him some reps as well. But the game predicates that. Juju is coming on around the mountain when he comes.
Doesn't feel like that's something you necessarily need to prey on, but listen, everyone, different strokes, different folks. Okay. Colorado obviously is going to have to win a little bit differently now, right? You lose Travis Hunter to the draft, Shedeur to the draft. Like, it's a different era now here for Deion, obviously coming off some major health concerns as well, but they're playing Georgia Tech on Friday. Here's Georgia Tech defensive back Clayton Powell-Lee, obviously not scared of these Buffaloes.
Everybody says it's a different experience, but I've experienced some crazy stadiums since being here. So just knowing that, not trying to overhype it, honestly, like it's another game. I know they bring out celebrities, they do all this crazy stuff, but we're playing football. Then none of them playing. They can hype you up all they want to, but you on the field, not them. There'll be a Buffalo out there on the field. Exactly, like, come on. But yeah, just playing fast, like not dwelling on that type of stuff. Like, that's all I can say.
And to be honest, I think Lil Wayne would be a liability out there. The fact that he's
flat receiver.
What's his 40 time?
Seems a little on the small side, and most likely drinking whatever's in that cup. Purple drink. I can't imagine that's a performance enhancer. At least
some might say it might be.
At least football. Maybe when you're on stage. But Pearl, there's another thing that's going to be missing.
What's that?
Colorado Buffaloes. They're going to actually be missing their mascot, the big buffalo. Buffalo's out. It turns out this is the sixth iteration of the mascot for the Buffaloes. It's Ralphie. Ralphie 6 out. You want to know why?
Why?
Choosing not to run. Apparently, Ralphie 6, the 500-pound mascot, the live mascot for the Colorado Buffaloes, has a quote-unquote indifference to running, which I relate to.
Good for her.
She's like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. More of a jogger.
Is she going to get out there and just graze on the field? Like, what's going to happen?
No, they retired her. But it turns out you can't just, like, get a new buffalo up in time.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah. So Ralphie 7 is in the works, but not ready yet. So they're not going to have their live mascot, and they're looking for, I think, tryouts probably.
Wow.
I don't know if
Tryouts
Coach
for
Prime.
what? You're going to get a dog into a buffalo outfit or something?
No, I'm just saying you got to head to the prairie and you got to find a buffalo that's really going to run. Like at one point, one of the other Ralphies ran like 25 miles an hour. It's like Tyreek Hill speed.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I feel like this could be like a new, hustle where you go all over the world to find the buffalo.
Yeah, make a reality show.
Yeah.
Apparently, Ralphie 6 prefers relaxing strolls on the pasture.
Who asked?
They can tell because she's not running. Like, they keep trying to coax her to do it, and she's like, I'm not doing it.
This whole thing is, can we all agree this whole thing in Colorado is losing its energy fast? I mean, even Deion, like, how long is Deion going to do this? I mean, the cancer scare, the leg problems.
Yeah.
The fact that his kids are gone. He says he's excited without having Shedeur as his quarterback, but have we really ever seen him without Shedeur as his quarterback? I think this is a huge game for two reasons. Because Georgia Tech's getting some hype, and Colorado, if they lose at home to an okay Georgia Tech team, then I think the energy of Hurricane Deion just slowly just starts to go down and down and down until he gets bored of this whole thing. And I don't know. I feel like if it goes wrong here, I feel like the end is coming sooner than we might think.
Well, here is Deion saying that his family is going to succeed with or without football.
All the Sanders are going to be straight, with or without football. You better believe that. You better believe that. I take care of mine, and I've always have, and y'all know what I mean.
No, I actually haven't.
No, I get what Deion's talking about. His football journey in life is set in stone. Like, Deion's above reproach when it comes to his football, career. What are you going to say? The guy's an inner circle Hall of Famer. He deserves that. As far as the coaching is concerned, I'll agree with you. I think there's a lot here. I mean, listen, you could say he's already succeeded. Like, has he already proved the point?
I think so to some extent. Also,
the Shedeur draft, falling in the draft, I think hurt them a little bit, especially because it felt like his fingerprints were all over that. Now, despite the fact, I want to be fair here, he was battling bladder cancer, which we didn't know at the time. Even more reason probably to have put someone else maybe in charge of that whole draft process.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be so much more comfortable as a broadcaster again that, that's why he's got to have success. And this is a big game. If they get, I doubt they'll get blown out. It's in Colorado. But if they lose here, I'm already
You think the
eyeing
shine's
the end.
off?
It is so off. It also, just the way he talks, there's a little bit of resignation in there.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. He does not sound like he did when he got there. Does he sound like the same when he went in and cut half the team? Just felt like that. He's gone through a lot.
Georgia Tech 4.5-point favorite on the road in Colorado. So a little of what Vegas thinks is going to happen. All right.
What about Junior?
888-710-4ISN. Are the Colorado Buffaloes teetering on irrelevance now with Deion heading into year 3?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Could be the college football game of the year, week 1. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. It's just one of the amazing games for week 1, Pearl, but obviously Texas, Ohio State, 1 versus 3 stands head and shoulders above all the others for now, partly because it's 1 versus 3, but also because of the massive curiosity around what Arch Manning is going to look like in not his first start, but his first start as the full-time starter, not
Arch
just
Manning.
the backup to Quinn Ewers. But you know what? It's funny about Arch Manning, right? And what he's kind of done. I was reading a story that Archie Manning was talking about his grandson. And he said that even, friends of his, this is Archie, the grandfather now talking, even friends of his, he's been surprised at just how polarizing Arch has been. And one of them was Steve Spurrier, who's been friends with Archie Manning for a long, long time. Even Spurrier had come out and said, I don't understand what all the hype is about, da-da-da. Because, everyone is so crazy about his grandson, and he understands it, but also kind of doesn't understand it.
Yeah, I understand. Archie obviously is quite older and probably isn't on Twitter all day arguing about Texas football. But I don't know. I don't really get the either side. I think this is it's funny. We're talking about Deion last hour. This just feels like there's so much hype. I can't wait for this kid to play half of football and this quiet it all down, because it's never going to be as good as some people think it's going to be. Guaranteed number 1 overall pick. And I kind of doubt it's going to be as bad as Steve Spurrier and some other critics have said. Because, it's going to sound so dumb, but how hard is it to play in that offense? Like, Quinn Ewers just ran the show for 2 years and was fine, and he's not very good. So I just think that, he's so set up for success. I do not see a bottom here. How could he possibly be there's a comparison. Everyone thought DJU was going to be good at Florida State, and he was terrible. There's no way that's happening with Arch Manning. There's no possibility of a total meltdown.
I don't know if I'll agree with you, but let's not forget these are college kids. Arch has started 2 games, and he's walking into what is going to be a chaotic and frenzy environment. These are not pros. I think we love college football for this reason, that sort of this massive chaos can ensue at any time. So I'm curious to see if he's going to be rattled at all.
I'm curious. 3 years in. He's not a freshman.
And I know he got into the game against Georgia, but that was thrown in there because, Texas was drowning and they just needed anything for a spark. That's not talking about it for months, thinking about it for months, and then building up and having to do that all on the road. I'm not saying that this game is going to determine Arch's career, but I am fascinated to see how he handles this kind of pressure. You're walking into the reigning national champions.
Yeah.
You are walking into you can't ask for a tougher test. As the preseason number 1, as the preseason Heisman favorite, it is a major, major challenge for him in this game, and I'm curious to see if he rises to the occasion or not.
He's 21. He's not an 18-year-old kid. He's not Julian Lewis at Colorado. He has enough experience that he's going to be fine. And Ohio State is a tough assignment. There are tougher assignments coming. Listen, Ohio State lost all their good defensive players except for Caleb Downs. They have a new defensive coach. I just think that, Arch has got a superpower on his side. He's got Steve Sarkisian calling plays. He has a great skill position players around him. He's got a run game. He's got a good line. He's set up for success. I am not worried at all. Now, I think what Steve Spurrier and everyone is saying, like, why are we penciling him as the number 1 overall pick when we don't know how good he is? But to say that, like, there's just no way this total, and cut this if I'm wrong, there's no way it's going to be a disaster. Like, how is that possible? Even in this frenzied environment of the shoe, I mean, come on. He's going to be fine.
Let's hear from Urban Meyer. So obviously Urban's got a side here as the former Ohio State head coach, but Urban Meyer was on the Joel Klatt show, and he believes Arch is being way overhyped.
Arch Manning hasn't done a thing yet. I went back, because I've said a few times and some people hit me back saying, what are you talking about? I'm hearing the word Heisman. I'm hearing the word national champion, first pick overall. And I went back and rewatched it just recently. He's a good player. I mean, he's a really good player, but he's not, get a couple first downs. Texas is going to have a good defense.
Get a couple first downs. Oof. More from Urban Meyer thinks the play calling for both Arch Manning and Julian Sayin, who's starting for Ohio State, should be very conservative in this game.
I'd be shocked if you saw something wild with these two teams early in the game. The other thing I would add with both these quarterbacks, I'd be very restrictive as far as throwing that ball between the hash marks. You play quarterback, your heart starts beating. It's like that point guard that gets all excited. You know what happens? The ball's always bouncing off the back of the rim. Why?
That's right.
Because he's excited. It's called adrenaline. Same thing with the quarterback. They overstride. The ball goes high. On the outside, it's incomplete pass, punt the ball, play good defense. We get the ball back. You throw that sucker over the middle high, you could lose a game.
Listen, this is Urban Meyer talking from all this experience about having guys who are both experienced quarterbacks, non-experienced quarterbacks. This is what I'm talking about the atmosphere on the road playing at Ohio State. It doesn't matter if you're Arch Manning or if you're Peyton Manning. At some point, the adrenaline does get to you. So, this is what I'm really interested. If Arch, say they're trailing, this is a 1.5 point spread, to think like, I've got to make a play. I've got to be Superman here. I've got to make it happen. And could that lead to bad things happening? I don't know. I'm very interested in how he handles this game.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, one thing about Urban, they're definitely going to run the ball. I was looking at when they played last year in the playoffs, they ran the ball like crazy against Ohio State, and they were losing that game. I think Texas wants to keep the ball on the ground, and Ohio State, they are not going to let Julian Sayin do anything. They didn't even let Will Howard do anything, and he was 23 years old last year. So the way Urban would say, I would bet the under on this. Again, I hear what you're saying about the adrenaline. I hear what Urban Meyer is saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm a sucker. Arch is clearly going to be fine. Has there ever been one inkling that the moment is too big for him? He cuts on camera. He's a total goofball, like his uncle Eli. I don't know why you'd be nervous about Arch of all people.
Never mind. This is one of the reasons, is because, first of all, when we watched him start games last year, it was not against an Ohio State team. And yes, he's had a whole other year to develop, but this is just, it's like the toughest assignment you could possibly give to whether a kid's 18 or 21. I don't think that being 21 means you're like a fully formed product, and he's just had all this time for all this hype to build. And listen, by all accounts, he handles it very well. He's had to live being a Manning his entire life. He doesn't know anything different. He will tune out the noise when he needs to. But what I brought up his grandfather, Archie, even Archie was surprised that peers of his or friends of his, like Steve Spurrier and now Urban Meyer and others, everyone's come out of the woodwork to have an opinion about Arch. And it is very unique in that way, unique even more than what Peyton and Eli had to deal with.
It's funny though. Who doesn't really seem to get caught up in it? Arch. I've seen a lot of interviews with Arch, and he's pretty good about not saying anything. He does not seem on the verge of panic. Maybe I'm a sucker, and he'll get out there and he'll be nervous, and adrenaline will be flying. One thing he does have, he can run, so that's going to help.
Yeah.
If things break down, I think you will see him use his legs. Maybe that makes you nervous because of injury. I don't think this is quite. The other thing too is Texas they could lose this game.
Yeah.
I think the committee came out and is already sending a lot of messages that we're going to count strength of schedule this year, which we did not count last year. And that's why it is a hard assignment, but it's the first game of the season. There's no preseason in college football. I think people would overlook this if he was a little sloppy, because they're going to have plenty of time to fix this. Texas, and by the way, they have Arch Manning. If you're the committee, you're going to let them in with 2 losses in a heartbeat, right?
I think a lot of SEC teams with 2 losses are getting in this year. I think you're right. I think it's going to be getting in over the likes of the Indianas, if you will, who had a loss last year, but did not have a good strength of schedule. I think you're going to see, and this is why when we did our predictions of who's going to make the 12-team playoff and then who's going to win, I put, 6 SEC schools in there. I mean, half the field SEC.
Well, and Texas will get in over any of them. Maybe Alabama because they're a big brand, but with you, they're not dumb. They have arch. There's no way they put Texas in with 3 over South Carolina with 2. Like, this is arch.
Okay, but see, that's the thing I think where people get a little ticked off about this. Like, you should still have to play the season.
But here's the thing,
the wins and losses should count to some extent, or else you might as well just pencil Texas into the college football playoff right now, even if they have 4 losses, 5 losses. Like, how far do you want to go here?
But the committee should look at this Ohio State game, and they should not count this against Texas too hard, because otherwise the top teams will never schedule each other. Like, they're going to – and also, come on, it's August. This game is in August. I think that's important. The committee knows, there's so much that's going to change in football. You kind of have to judge teams later in the season, right? So
you're going to take nothing away from this game? It might as well be played in the forest, if a tree falls and it just means absolutely nothing?
Let's be realistic. How much pressure is there really in this game? Does the outcome make a massive, massive difference in the big picture?
I think that there's a... Listen.
I'm not taking nothing, but I think we disagree on this. I'm not making the world out of this outcome.
I think it would be bad if one team gets blown out. I think that, I don't know if that's going to happen. The spread would tell you it's not. I think that would be not good if a team got blown out. And I also think, I think if Arch throws 3 picks, I think this game does mean something. As far as what the committee looks at, I don't know. We have a lot of football to play. But I think that there are going to be, storylines and narratives, if you will, that get set after this game.
Well, here's the thing. Texas, look at their schedule after this. San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. Say they lose this game to Ohio State, then they immediately get to 3-1 with a blink of an eye. Then they start their SEC schedule at Florida October 4th. Now, that's a big game. Then they have Oklahoma on October 11th. That's a big game. Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Then they have Georgia. Those games will be heavier. The Georgia game on November 15th. That's a big deal because we're getting toward the end of the season. Don't you think if the committee was smart, they would give a lot of leeway to this result, even if it was a blowout? Remember when Georgia blew out Bo Nix in Oregon?
Yeah.
Oregon got a second chance. I think you have to be smart about how you view this game. I think in the moment it might feel big. So, God, I think people will not like this take, but I think this game is going to be overhyped. The actual result in the long run will not make a huge difference. I'm being dead serious, especially if it's close.
What do you think how do you think it's going to play out? Do you think it's going to be close?
Definitely. I mean, it's a 1.5 points. Or is it down to 1? It might
I'm
be
saying
down
1.5.
Yeah. So Ohio State, total unknown with Julian saying. Don't have the slightest idea what he's going to play like. But again, it's not hard for Arch. How hard is it to lob the ball up to Jeremiah Smith, who Texas contained last time? But I think Ohio State has a lot of weapons. Texas has a lot of weapons. They're both going to run the ball. I see 24-21 kind of game. It feels almost like the college football playoffs. How do you see it playing out?
I mean, I hope it's tight because that would obviously make it a lot more fun. And I think we're going to have a do or die moment with Arch, with the ball in his hands, either trailing or, slight lead to try to either put the game away or try to win the game. I think it's going to be like that.
And by the way,
and will he rise to the occasion, rise to the moment?
Arch is already screwed out of the Heisman because he's the preseason favorite. Apparently, that never wins.
No, that's not good for him. Yeah.
No, that never wins. Long season ahead, though. That's the thing. There's so many. You look at their schedule, oh my God, we are going to see so much Arch in primetime TV. And this one, it feels big again. And also, there's no rivalry here, Texas, Ohio State. Ohio State has one big game on their schedule this year. And Texas has a lot of Ohio State. This is great. I'm sure Ohio State fans would love to win this game, but they're geared up. Don't you think they're so into? They have to beat Michigan this year. If they can't do it this year, Maggie, then this whole thing is going to explode. I don't even care if they win the national title again.
That's crazy.
Ohio State has bigger goals. I'm not meaning to poo-poo this. Listen, Fox would be mad at me for saying this, but this game is going to be a work in progress for both teams.
I kind of like this as a budding rivalry, though. We get new types of matchups now with this college football playoff, and obviously they played a year ago, and now we get to see them play again, which is really, really fun. Can I do a personal question to the group here? So, hey, so This game is Saturday at noon. So it's a holiday weekend, and I understand, like, we could park in front of our couches and just watch football from sunup to sundown, and that sounds glorious.
Mm-hmm.
I've got something to do, though, on Saturday in the middle of the day. Like, it's still a little vacation time, that Labor Day weekend, so I'm going to be in transit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank God it's 2025 and they're streaming.
Exactly. So how am I watching this on Fox? I need to get that Fox app? Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, you got to get the Fox
I got to get the Fox app.
You have cable, right?
Do you have cable?
I do have cable.
Yeah, log into your cable provider, get on the Fox app, the good old-fashioned way.
Sometimes
Also, do your cable provider have a streamer? Because, I know Spectrum did. I don't have Spectrum anymore, but...
The problem is it's, I don't want to call them out, but sometimes the Verizon can be a little finicky.
Yeah.
It's really, really annoying.
I will say this, spoiler, the Fox app is one of my least favorites.
They just launched it. They waited forever to get in the streaming game.
The Fox Sports one from before.
U.S. Soccer.
One, it was garbage. It was really bad.
I got a long list of apps that I do not like for streaming.
Go to Manny's Twitter. You'll see a bunch. He was raging the other day.
Guys, could I give you an idea of where Maggie is on this?
Dímelo.
I said it's streaming on. I think it's streaming on YouTube TV. I have to actually double check that nowadays because that's a big controversial. And I said, "Do you have YouTube TV?" She goes, "I have YouTube."
I meant that I have the NFL YouTube. I'm paying $500 to get the NFL package on YouTube.
Yeah,
that is not YouTube TV. I realize that. But
like,
I also
do you sit and
have
watch cable on YouTube TV?
I don't know what I have. I've got so many things. I think I'm paying like triple. I just realized the other day that HBO Max can be with Disney Plus. I'm definitely paying for those two separately. Like, how do I get it handled?
You have to pay
What
extra
app is
for
that?
that.
That sounds like a jailbroken app that I haven't heard of. HBO Max and Disney?
I think that HBO Max is now on Disney Plus.
No, it's a bundle
impossible.
you can pay for.
Yeah, it's a bundle you can pay for. But instead, I think I'm paying for. I'm assuming the bundle's cheaper. Isn't that why you do it?
Those are direct competitors.
That's what I was
ops.
shocked.
This whole thing has gotten ridiculous. But I mean, you should do what I did, Maggie. I mean, Andrea floated the idea of moving a Friday engagement to Saturday. I just said no. It just wasn't happening.
When I'm supposed to, I've got to. I can't get out of this one. I've got to watch it on my phone.
You always say that.
I know.
You always
wait till you have a kid, dude. It changes your life.
You can get out of it. Just don't show up.
It's so simple.
It's just not an option. So I'm going to basically make my husband now drive to my cousin's house
till death do us part.
Sure. He's your family. That's his cousin now too. They're family.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I just I have to be able to watch on the phone. If I can watch on the phone, I'll be fine.
There are real people, have you followed the YouTube TV Fox thing? So
Yeah.
there are real people who actually have their priorities straight, who now they've finally reached like a last second deal, like who are worried they're going to miss the game. Not people who are too afraid to tell their family no.
You tell them. They still don't know what I do for a living.
Huh?
No, I mean, they kind of do.
Oh.
But you know what I mean. It's different, guys. It's different. But if I can just watch it on the phone, I'll be okay.
Anybody who is remotely close to me where I would have to visit them at a certain point knows that if certain sports are going on, it's just something's not happening. Again, I have a Friday thing that's happening, which I was very excited about. And it was floated by the other party. Hey, Saturday may be better. And I'm just like, I'm not doing it.
See, my thing is the 3:30 window, the 7:30 window, 8 o'clock, all that's fine. It's just that noon. Why this game is even at noon is insane anyway.
That's a big problem. I know Fox, they really want to play up their big noon show, and I get it. I get it from that standpoint, but this game not being under the lights in the horseshoe is a disgrace.
And
there have been too many games, Big Ten games, that have been played at noon that absolutely should have been played under the lights at night. And I think it hurts the product. I really do. Like Penn State playing Ohio State last year at noon was ridiculous. Like, how was that not a whiteout game in Happy Valley? This game, the last time they played Ohio State, Texas, that was a night game. Yeah. Saturday night, Vince Young put on a show. One of the best games of the season. He then, of course, did it again against USC.
You talking about 2004?
Yeah, he beat Ohio State in week 1.
I thought you meant like 2 years ago.
No. But way back in the day. This is the last time these two teams played, right?
Is that right?
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah, or in the regular season.
Yeah.
But these games under the lights matter. Like, I don't like
okay.
The fact that the Big Ten's just letting them just put all these games on the noon. The only one is ridiculous.
The only one I think is fine is Ohio State, Michigan.
That's tradition.
Because that's tradition.
Yeah,
you play
fine.
that. It's the Friday after Thanksgiving or Saturday after Thanksgiving, and then you play at noon, and everyone knows it's at noon. For this game, this can't be at 8 o'clock.
I got to admit, I'm going to be the old man here. It's kind of like a London game. Like, I don't know. You want to put football on TV all day, I'm good. I got something to watch at 7. There's 2 night games I'm going to watch. I don't mind having it spread out all day.
You get Clemson, LSU. You got Florida State, Alabama. You got the whole rest of the day. It's awesome. It's just
I actually don't even need the 3:30 window this week. That's what I would plan. I'm sorry, I just can't get fired up for Florida State right now. The 3:30 window is kind of weak.
Get crushed.
I think that's going to happen.
The 3:30 window, you got to admit, they should have spread out their 3 massive top 10 matchups this week. Should have spread out a little evenly.
Yeah,
but
they put Miami on Sunday against Notre Dame. So that was
you're saying it's an entertainment product, DJ, that you find it less exciting when it's on during the sunlight at noon.
I think it's a big problem.
It's not a scheduling thing you're talking about. You're just talking about like the hype around the game.
Purely entertainment. I think that fans have been conditioned now, not just from the college level in the NFL, but it started in high school, that these night games under the lights are special. And how many times did we saw Lane Kiffin last season talk about how the fact that they're not getting night games, he thinks it ends up kind of being a bias against his team because there's stats that show home teams play better at night. Those atmospheres are just different. Fans are drinking all day as opposed to whatever they can get in the 4 or 5 hours before a game that starts at noon. Again, Fox is doing all this because they want to prop up their pregame show, which is a big investment. I understand that. I just think from an entertainment standpoint, in terms of even a athletic standpoint, in terms of what you see on the field, those night games are different. This game should be played under the lights.
I agree, and just also for selfish reasons.
Oh, so you can get out of this play date?
Whatever I got to do. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Does this game matter for Arch Manning? Perloff, I'm picking up from you. You do not think it does. I do.
I mean, it matters. Of course it matters. But I think all the hype around him, it's kind of like he's got a bit of Shedeur Sanders to him in the sense that, people are just overreacting to every little thing Arch does. And kid's going to be totally fine. Even if he struggles a little bit here, it's a long season ahead. So does that mean I'm saying it doesn't matter?
I think you're wrong about it. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476 if you want to weigh in on Texas and Ohio State. All right, coming up, we got to check in on our favorite curmudgeon. We'll do that next. MVP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this portion of the show is brought to you by Wesley Financial. Stuck in a timeshare and want out? Contact Wesley Financial Group now and get a free timeshare exit information kit at wesleyfinancialgroup.com. As the resident old here, by the way, we're talking about college football and how games should be on at night. They never were on at night. Like the night thing is a kind of a newer development that the greatest college football games, regular season games, are, if you ever look at highlights, are during the day. So now they all need to be at night. The other thing too.
Blame the TV networks, not us.
Yeah,
the
and
invention
also,
of the light bulb.
It's like, is this an electricity hot take for me?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like you were like,
Franklin.
I can't. I know we're talking about like EJ and Manny over there. Like, I can't believe they're not playing this game at night.
Manny.
What about tradition? I'm like, well, look at any old highlight in Nebraska and Oklahoma and all those teams. Like, they always play during great college football games were during the day. They weren't on at night. The other thing, too, is sometimes those night games go a little late for when Andrew Perloff. When the game takes 4.5 hours and it's 12:30 and they're in their third overtime, I'm like, oh, man, can't they start this thing at 3:30?
Okay, so we're talking about Texas and Ohio State. It's going to be played at noon. And yes, I'm normally with you. Earlier the better. Let's start the games at 8 a.m. Like, I don't care. I'm not out there tailgating. It doesn't matter to me. This is a specific gripe that I have because I'm going to be in transit at noon.
So you're making this 100% about you, not a sports thing.
And I'm just basically using the power of the microphone to ask everybody, how should I watch this thing? How am I going to watch it on my phone? And I've got the answer. I just need the Fox Sports app.
And the other thing, too, is like,
lucky me.
I got to be
another
honest,
app.
for a big chunk of my life, I had plans on Saturday night. Like, that was an issue. Like, I used to,
have a life.
I used to have a life. I used to go out. So Saturday night is ideal for the on your couch a TV fan, but it's not the perfect time. I think that's one of the reasons. Obviously, who's got this figured out more than anyone? The NFL. Sunday, boom, let's go. Saturday, there aren't really always perfect times.
Let's go to Brandon, who's in Tennessee, as a thought on these Big Ten games happening during the day. A lot of them because of Fox, their relationship with the Big Ten, and their desire to get that noon window to be as big as possible. What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, guys? Just first off, I want to say I love listening to you guys. Listen to you guys every morning while I'm working.
Oh, thank you.
Maggie, I agree with you. I understand the tradition, Michigan, Ohio State, noon kickoff. But think about for a second how hyped games are at night.
Yep.
Under the lights, especially if you're talking about in the big house, or I hate to say it, in the horseshoe. It's a big deal. I was at Penn State a couple years ago, and the game was at noon. I was really looking forward to it being a whiteout Michigan at Penn State. Night games are just more fun. I understand you got to have big-time games at noon. You want to have a big-time game in the afternoon. There's nothing bigger than Michigan and Ohio State. Play it at night.
Oh,
at least once.
So you think Michigan, Ohio State should go to prime time also, even though traditionally that's always been a day game?
I'm not saying every year, but let's try it once. It's going to be even bigger than what the rivalry already is.
Man.
Nothing's better than under the lights.
Brandon,
I mean,
thank you for that.
Everybody gets up for Friday night.
Yeah,
for high school ball.
Brandon, you're right. The one thing that I have to, if you do it 1 year, you have to do it 2 years because both sides will say it's not fair. If you put it at night at the big house, you got to put it at night at the horseshoe to kind of make it even, Steven. But I'm with you. Let's give it a shot.
Well, I mean, that's part of a holiday weekend, though. So I actually have, as you get into the holidays, like everything changes, though. Like I don't really mind
that the NFL is just basically taking over every holiday possible.
So I always visit my parents on Thanksgiving weekend, and like I am just like all day long watch. Thursday usually watching the Lions at 12:30. There's a lot of day watching of football because everyone's home. It's a little bit of a different animal. So for some reason, Michigan Ohio State doesn't bother me as much because I'm not really doing anything except in a turkey coma 2 days later.
Yeah, and you love the distraction from your family. You've mentioned that many times.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean,
we all do.
Anybody with extended family. Also, I can't say. I mean, like I'm in a food coma by 9 o'clock. I would have a major problem.
Yeah, the toughest game to stay awake for all season long, whether it's college or pro, 100%. The third game, Thanksgiving night.
Right.
That NBC game, Collinsworth, and I think it's Tirico who does it, or maybe it's Tony Dungy. I don't even remember who they have on that third game.
Here's a guy.
So
good luck with the second half of that game.
So Michigan Ohio State Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. Don't you think you'd be pretty tired if it started at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, but by then I've got my second wind.
You got your second wind, okay.
No, I'm back. I've walked a little, jogged.
I feel great.
Feeling better. No, but the Thanksgiving night, just so much red wine, turkey, like whatever that's usually like Ravens Steelers or something Sunday night. Like I'll catch up in the morning.
If you're having trouble figuring out how to stream this Texas Ohio State game, good luck figuring out how to find all the games over the holiday season in the NFL. They're basically like my smartwatch is hosting a game on. Like they are, every possible tech company is in on them. There's like 11 different networks. Anyway, it's going to be annoying.
Yep. Let's get to Andrew Bogish, who's got all the latest headlines for us. What's up, Bogues?
And here's the tennis drama you were asking for.
Got to
now.
spread those out.
I assume most people were not watching live.
Phrasing.
Taylor Townsend versus Jelena Ostapenko at the U.S. Open yesterday afternoon, but maybe you've seen the ending by now. Townsend won the match, 7-5, 6-1. The usual post-match handshake got a little testy when Ostapenko began scolding Townsend.
It's competition. People get upset when they lose, and you can't. Some people say bad things. She told me I have no class, I have no education, and to see what happens when we get outside the U.S. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I beat her in Canada outside the U.S. I beat her in New York outside the U.S. So let's see what else she has to say.
Ostapenko eventually posting.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, no, I know. There's a little.
She was
bit
on a roll. Just let her cook.
The last little bit of geography got a little janky there.
She questioned my education, and a little bit later, I beat her in New York outside the U.S. So
yeah,
no,
good
she went
heavens.
in New Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yes. Ostapenko
It's a melting pot.
eventually posting on social media that she was mad at Townsend for breaking some of tennis's unwritten rules during this match.
Can I weigh in on
please.
this one?
Oh, please, I'm begging.
This
is what I've been waiting for.
All right. Well, yes, whenever a ball hits the net and goes over on your opponent's side, like where you get a little luck from the sports gods, you are supposed to put up the racket or put up the hand. But if you don't, in the U.S. Open, it's not a federal case. Ostapenko took this obviously she's just ticked off because she lost.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, she's wah. And so then she picked a fight with Taylor Townsend about it. I thought there had to be more to the story. I'm like, this can't just be off of one neck call. Like one, oops, hey, sports gods had my back on this one. The fact that she's completely in the wrong.
Yeah. She also mentioned in her post something about the way they warmed up. That Townsend warmed up in the incorrect order, and that bothered her.
Okay, so that probably got her mad. Tennis is a weird sport where you do warm up with your opponent. It's very unique.
Not even with, you warm each other up.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you warm up basically on a side court before for a huge match like this. But you do warm up with your opponent, so there is a lot of this courtesy that has to happen.
So what's the order? Is it serves, and then you guys rally, and then you guys have a cup of tea or something?
The way that I always did it was you do some cross courts, you can do some down the line, and then you do serves.
Do you think it's
and a couple of overheads? You have to serve each other overheads.
Yeah.
It is a very unique, weird setup.
Think it's possible some of this was lost in translation, like the education line.
The education line, yes. And Townsend was asked about it afterwards if she thought that was a racial remark because Townsend is black, and she said no. she did not take it that way. She understands why it might have been interpreted that way, but that's not the way she felt.
So she meant like education about like the unwritten rules of tennis, like the
Where's this Ostapenko from?
Eastern Europe.
Latvia,
yes,
I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think whatever was said, was said as a second language. Here.
Probably.
Yeah, but I mean, the anger was legitimate.
They were screaming at each other. Definitely.
You gotta watch your mouth. I'm sorry. I don't. Second language, non-language. Watch your mouth. How you talking to me, right? You can talk. There's a lot of ways you can address in terms of why you're angry or whatever, and I understand that. But Townsend's probably a bigger person than most to just take that in stride, because another person might have got their jaw rearranged. Like that's where you take it a step farther, where you talk about no class, no education. Now it seems like you're taking it away from tennis. Again, if there's a language barrier, that's one thing, but get right real quick in terms of how you talk to people in a confrontational situation. This was not we're just having a conversation and maybe something gets slipped up. You're talking in an angry way, and this is how you're approaching it. That's
well, she's saying it's not classy because she didn't put the hand up to say, "Oh, my bad, it's a net point," right? Like I think that's the class part she's talking about. As far as the education, I think that might get that was also part of what I would think is it's also part of the unwritten rules. But then she said, if you're in your home country, see you outside your home country, it's like.
Yeah, she hit a trifecta that I'm not.
I don't know.
You want to give her a pass, that's one thing. A lot of people would not. That seemed a little ridiculous.
So what do you expect her to slug her right there on the tennis court?
No, what I'm saying is say that to the wrong person, and there could be major problems because it's not out of the realm of possibility for someone to take that and say, what do you actually mean by this? Class, let's get out of another country, and education, that's a trifecta that could lead to a lot of problems.
And she's getting it on social media for sure.
And she should. It was ridiculous.
But the two of them, they're never going to come to blows. But the two of them definitely went at it. That's as heated as it gets for a tennis match.
Right. So again, all we have for Ostapenko is like a 2-panel Instagram story. Aryna Sabalenka, the world #1 player, was in the locker room when Ostapenko came back in. She didn't know what had just happened. She just saw that she was upset. And this is what Sabalenka said yesterday.
She's nice, she just sometimes can lose control, and she has some things in life to face and some struggles.
So this was about a 90-second answer altogether, and it was serious. It was very much like she's got crap going on. She has a problem controlling her emotions.
Yeah.
I let her just vent. I hope that she can figure out how to address this because it's not good.
She's got to get it worked out, and also, but that's also not Taylor Townsend's problem, right?
No.
Taylor Townsend also, what she didn't do, saying my bad about a ball that hits the net and goes over into your opponent's side, that is not a crime, a high crime,
right?
Right.
But also, this is a woman, Ostapenko, who won a major 8 years ago and hasn't really done anything ever since. So you wonder if part of the reason why she struggled is because whatever has been an issue has been a long-term issue, and she's never gotten it corrected. And it leads to stuff like this, losing and then acting like that.
Yeah, well, you got to be a better loser, though, if you're a pro.
Isn't Sabalenka also notorious for crashing out on the court?
Yes.
Well, yeah, she was Coco Gauff.
Yeah.
And her, yes.
She's also Eastern European, right?
Yes. And again,
it's a lot of pressure on everybody, right?
Right. And I completely understand EJ's point, and if Taylor Townsend had gotten angrier yesterday, but I do, there's probably need a lot more sympathy for people being angry and trying to answer questions not in their first language.
This wasn't answering questions. This was a
anything. Putting nuance into someone's words that are not in their primary language is a thing that I'm not going to often do.
Right, but you're making a choice by deciding to express anger, knowing that is not your first language, knowing that something can get lost in translation. There are people who speak English back to back who things get lost in translation.
That's true.
So when you're angry, you may think, let me cool off before I say something I don't mean. So I don't, I see what you're saying, but, she has an understanding as well. This is not her first rodeo playing at the U.S. Open or playing in America. So she knows that this is not her first language. She knows the things she's getting into. So that's why, again, this, I get it. And I'm not saying that it wasn't a loss in translation. I believe there probably was. But, again, the wrong person could take that the wrong way, and something worse could have happened.
Let me ask you a question. Does Taylor Townsend have to go into detail with the press exactly what was said?
She was asked right after, like I think the conversation happened. I saw the interview. Like the woman's like, "What just happened?"
Because I wonder if like there are a lot of fights. Like tennis is a pretty personal sport. Like that we don't hear everything that's said. Like I don't know. Like I guess she did. Like, but you could have said that was a fight.
I'm glad she did because we'd like to know what these things are rare where two women are like coming face to face like that. Like I'd love to know what it was. And then I found out and I was like, oh, come on. Like you also have to be a way better loser as a professional.
I think in all sports, once you get into unwritten rules or the reason why we're starting major confrontations, I think you lose a lot of people.
Probably.
Like I think it's the one thing when you talk about actual rules being broken, but small things that are like, oh, only tennis players will know this, or only baseball players, only basketball players will know this, and it starts a fight or starts a confrontation. I think a lot of folks are like, come on, man, like we don't care about this little thing.
Sabalenka played last night. She won. Alcaraz won as well. And they've now, what's today? Thursday. So this is day 5. And as far as actual tennis goes, not too many upsets so far at the U.S. Open, which is not necessarily how things go. On a far less serious note, the Patriots apparently liked Tommy Chopped Liver because New England has signed former Giants Colt hero Tommy DeVito. He joins Drake May and Joshua Dobbs in their QB room. And you all peaked too soon in our home run derby. Here come the Bogish Bombers.
1-1. And that is smoked deep to center. Doyle racing back onto the warning track. He leaps at the wall, and it is gone! A 2-run blast for Jordon Alvarez, his 4th home run of the year.
His 4th home run of the year.
You got a load of that one, though.
It's almost September.
I think I am now in double figures as a team. It's only number 4 because he hasn't played in almost 4 months because of a broken hand. But he's back, baby. You look out over these last 5 weeks. Houston won this game 4-0. They keep their game and a half lead on the Mariners atop the AL West.
Real quick, Maggie, Carlos Alcaraz, haircut, yay or nay?
Guys, the haircut's not the thing that's keeping Alcaraz famous, all right? To a wide audience.
If Maggie's not going to wear it, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
It's like when Beckham cut his hair. It's awesome, right?
Oh, I disagree.
You guys don't like?
I don't like it.
Maddie, what do you think?
I'm down with it. I'm down with it.
I don't like this. Actually, I'm disappointed because Perloff really hyped this up. Now I'm seeing it. I don't know if he looks great bald or buzzed.
Yeah. No, guys used so much of Beckham. Remember when Beckham cut his hair?
Yes.
Was a fox.
I think he looks.
And what do those two guys have in common? It's not the shape of their head; it's their face.
Right. But I think the hair
This
makes him look
guy's a
cooler.
fox.
Like he kind of looked like a little kid before. Now he looks like a badass.
So out of 10, Maggie, what you got?
He's always a 10 out of 10. And like, again, the hair is not going to be like sway it for
I think
me.
for a buzz cut, certain heads work better. And I think Beckham has the right shaped skull for that buzz to just look perfect. Alcaraz is fine. It's fine, but he's not no Beckham. That's special.
This feels like Madison Beer versus Megan Fox yesterday. Alcaraz is handsome, but he's not David Beckham.
Yeah, there you go.
Maggie's lost.
No,
That's fine.
Madison Beer, the Justin Herbert's new girlfriend,
Correct.
to Megan Fox.
Yes.
How are they in the same category?
Perloff thought they looked a lot alike, and they don't look dissimilar. But Megan Fox is an all-timer,
She's
and I don't
original.
know, and I don't know if Madison Beer is that yet.
Right.
That was my sports minute yesterday.
Jeez, I can see you guys missed me quite a bit
She is
here.
not Tommy Chop Liver. She's doing fine, by the way.
Tommy Filet.
Show her, she is
At least we'd heard of Tommy Cutlets.
She's also very much a 10 out of 10. So can we just state that she's not ugly?
No one was saying that. It's Megan Fox, bro.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't know when I said Megan Fox, like it's the age of these guys. Like they're like, you mean Megan
She's
Fox from Transformers 1? Yeah.
She's your Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, absolutely. I tread on sacred ground when I mentioned like, oh, this woman kind of looks like Megan Fox. How dare you?
You guys didn't see like the viral. I know it's reality TV and it's Love Is Blind, but this woman went viral years ago because she said she told the guy on the other side of the wall that people say she looks like Megan Fox. So, of course, the guy who's not seeing her was like, oh, my God, what's she going to look like? Let me just spoil it. She did not look like Megan Fox, and it became a thing.
She look like Madison Beer?
No, not like Madison Beer either.
Oh, man.
Muy
Sorry, I
bien.
missed
Gracias,
that.
Maggie.
Sorry, I missed that. Coming up, we will also get to another brunette who's turning heads. One head coach in particular. That's next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
calling the plays, but she's calling the shots. It's time for As the Tar Heel Turns.
And haven't done that one in a while. Got some Bill Belichick, Jordon, Hudson news for all that are interested. According to Darren Ravel, Pearl, Jordon Hudson has filed for a trademark, several trademarks. This one for a jewelry company that she's starting. She's filed the trademark Gold Digger. That's going to be the name of the jewelry line. I'll tell you what, she's such a good marketer. I don't even think Bill deserves her. Like, Bill doesn't want any of this marketing. He doesn't want any of this attention, I don't think. And she's just coming up with hit after hit. Like, she knows how to get attention, this woman.
How has that not been trademarked before?
I imagine she's not going to get it.
So here, she's reportedly filed for 17 different trademarks, according to Darren Ravel.
Wow.
Chapel Bill, we knew about. Bellastrator, Trail of Salty Tears,
Okay.
No Days Off, and the Belichick Way are just some of them.
Trail of Salty Tears. What the heck is that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, the Gold Digger one. I actually, in a normal situation, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty funny. She's poking fun at the situation. For her, though, it seems creepy.
Well, everything about her kind of.
Yeah, it's not just her.
creepy.
It's her and him. This is super creepy. If it was a more normal couple, I'd be like, that's funny. But with them, it's like, oh, God. Like,
everything's got a little cringe when it comes to these two. But
yeah, and by the way,
again, I don't think Bill deserves her.
She's as cringy as he is.
Hell of a marketer, this
Yeah,
woman.
but she just looks weird. Like I don't like on her own, she's a bit cringy. And her backstory and like where'd she go to college and I don't know, everything about her is bizarre.
Well, I don't know about that part. I think that she's doing this sort of, despite her young age, she seems to kind of understand the moment, you know? And she said this recently to, I think Charlotte Wilder, said people loved Belichick when she was just behind the scenes kind of managing his media career.
Belichick.
Wait, what?
Like a year ago when he was off from coaching and he was working for like 17 different places, remember? She was like masterminding all that, according to her. And people loved Belichick then. They just don't like when she got a little more front and center. That's according to her.
Do you think I'm going to read the MRI?
Well, I mean, hence the Trail of Salty Tears.
I don't know what that is. It's a weird image. Meanwhile, Belichick has named a quarterback. Manny, let's hear cut 12. Gio Lopez is the guy for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, Gio's made a ton of progress. We've evaluated things through training camp. And, as now we get ready for TCU, he'll be our starting quarterback. So we'll give him the majority of the reps in practice and make sure that we get him, as much preparation as possible.
Okay. Big game for Belichick against TCU.
Yep.
Pearl, Belichick now has to answer questions about whether or not he could win without Tom Brady as his quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you think he will also have to answer questions if Gio Lopez or the next Tar Heel quarterback does not work out? Like, hey, you could only win when it was this guy.
No. I think that we're in the gravy side of a career because I was thinking about an analogy. Like Bill Walsh really didn't win at a high level at Stanford, and that's never, ever, ever raised in his legacy. It's never even discussed. So I don't think this North Carolina experiment is going to I think it's all upside for Belichick. If he loses, we'll just forget. It's like Emmitt Smith as a Cardinal. Who cares?
Yeah, but the funny part, I think that Bill Walsh and Joe Montana obviously both get tons of credit for what they did in San Francisco, but it doesn't seem like Belichick's getting almost any credit for what happened in New England now.
Oh,
it's a very
that's too
different.
far.
I think so too, but I'm just reading the tea leaves, listen to a little Boston radio, whatever.
No.
There is no credit being given to Belichick. It almost feels like we've gone so far to give that he was some kind of innocent bystander in the whole thing, and Tom Brady was out there doing everything.
Well, maybe we need more time because I don't think ultimately that will be the legacy. I mean, Belichick is obviously, if not the greatest, one of the greatest coaches in the NFL. I just don't think if he bombs in North Carolina, there's so many built-in excuses. It's a completely different sport. I mean, for God's sake, he just named Gio Lopez his starting quarterback. There's Arch Manning and Kate Cleveland. Who is Gio Lopez? I don't think they're high expectations. I think you and I might disagree on that.
We'll get back to Belichick and the Tar Heels, 888-710-4ISN. Also, Bill Walsh's former team, the 49ers. Take a look at Brock Purdy next.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Easy MFE, back in the comments again. Where you hate my music but can't stop listening. You're more loyal than Peter Bellotti is to a time card. Easy MFE, more like easy to clown. Trolling in the threads trying to tear me down. Said my track's trash, that's rich my guy, but you've replayed it twice, don't even lie. Still hiding behind that YouTube name, throwing shade like it's your Hall of Fame. You talk big but work ethic's trash. Peter Bellotti shows up more than your facts. Easy takedown, easy fold, easy's courage, lukewarm.
There's a storm rolling in on the pickleball court. Bailey showed up in jorts and a cut-off shirt. Pierre walked in with a monogram grip, talking about spinning angles and wrist flick tips. Bailey just smirked, said bless your heart, then served that ball like a moonshine dart. Pierre's got a name that belongs in Versailles, but he's getting schooled by a dude who eats fries. Bailey just smirked, said bless your heart, then served that ball like a moonshine dart. Pierre's got a name that belongs in Versailles, but he's getting schooled by a dude who eats fries. Bailey's gonna wreck Pierre, say it loud. Gonna humble that paddle prince in front of the crowd. You can't beat grit with your country club flair, cause ain't nothing fancy about winning fair and square. So sip your latte, Pierre, sit in your chair, cause Bailey's bringing smoke and he ain't gonna share. Pierre's wearing wristbands, got strategy charts. Daly's just playing with pure backwoods heart. He don't need top spin, he don't need grace, just a greasy breakfast and a steel game face. He dunks, he smashed that serve. Pierre backed off, didn't have the nerve. They say it's just a game, but not to Daly. Ruber showed up with a racket in hand, talking like he's finally the man with the plan. Said this year's mine, been training all fall. Daly just laughed, didn't sweat it at all. First serves in and the crowd leans in. By the first few games, it's looking like a sin. Rube swinging wild, chasing every ball, but Daly's got answers for them all. Rube just can't beat Daly, it's the same old song. Every forehand's fire, every backhand's strong. The score's lopsided, the outcome's clear, and Peter Bellotti still ain't here. Yeah. While Rubu's out there losing in the heat, Gub's on the mic, Perloff's in retreat, filling in smooth, keeping fans on the line, taking that show and making it shine. But back on the court, it's another route. Daly's running Rube in and out. It's 6-love quick, no mercy shown. Rube is already wishing he stayed at home. Rube just can't beat Daly, it's the same old song. Every forehand's fire, every backhand strong. The score's lopsided, the outcome's clear, and Peter Bellotti still ain't here. While Rubu's out there losing in the heat, Gub's on the mic, Perloff's in retreat, filling in smooth, keeping fans on the line, taking that show and making it shine. But back on the court, it's another route. Daly's running Rube in and out. It's 6-love quick, no mercy shown. Ruben's already wishing he stayed at home. Rube just can't beat Daly, it's a losing streak. Doesn't matter if it's here or week. Jumps running hot, Perloff's nowhere near, and Peter Bellotti still ain't here. Blue packed up his bag, no smile, no cheer. Daly just grinned. See you next year.
Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Pearl, amidst all the contract talk and Micah Parsons still out there with no deal, not even in Dallas today. He was spotted at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, leaving presumably to get a second opinion after an MRI was done on his back. Welcome to the show, by the way, Maggie, Gray, Andrew Perloff. So Terry McLaurin got done, Trey Hendrickson got done, Micah Parsons still not done. One contract that was maybe the easiest that we've seen, we thought could get a little contentious, but ultimately did not, was Brock Purdy, who's starting the 5-year, $265 million contract extension that he signed May 2025. Or maybe he'll kick it next year, but it got done fast. And Brock Purdy became one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. But that doesn't mean the questions have stopped about Brock Purdy and what his true value is to the 49ers.
Absolutely. I mean, the $50 million, I don't think anyone's judging him differently. System quarterback.
Well, let's get to our quarterback carousel and dive deeper into Purdy.
I feel so lucky to be the quarterback.
It's the position everyone wishes they could play.
Why can't I be quarterback, huh? Sit down and shut up.
But it's not for the faint at heart.
Quarterbacks are premium.
I think those things add up to make it quarterbacking the toughest job in sports.
Maggie and Perloff answer one big question about the quarterback.
All right, EJ, what's our question about Brock Purdy and the 49ers?
Okay, so as you mentioned, Brock Purdy signed a 5-year, $265 million contract. That is $182 million guaranteed. So with those lofty numbers when it comes to the dollars, I asked the question, does Brock Purdy have to become a perennial MVP candidate to justify that contract?
I say yes. And here's why. And here's how Brock Purdy stays a perennial MVP candidate, which he was 2 years ago, Pearl, is that, first of all, the team is good enough to be a Super Bowl contender. So you got to win enough games. And for him to do that, how did he become an MVP candidate 2 years ago? It was not because he all of a sudden was, Brett Favre. It wasn't because he was all of a sudden this gunslinger. It's because he was so efficient in playing within the system. You will always get rewarded by the NFL Illuminati, if you will, and the voters when you execute, show off your weapons, do it in a way that wins you tons and tons of games, you will be in the MVP conversation. And Brock Purdy has a better shot of doing that than when he does try to do too much or he does try to play over his skis like he did last year. They were hurt all over the place, and he, led them to a 6-win season, which is totally unacceptable. So to me, it's his job, yes, to maximize the weapons that they have, play within Kyle Shanahan's system, and that means winning, at least 11, 12 games every year, and yes, being in the MVP conversation.
Well, let me ask you this question. Do they need him to be an MVP candidate to win the Super Bowl?
I think the way that they are best is when he is doing that point guard thing where he's getting everybody involved, and that will, and not just like freelancing, or holding on to the ball too long or doing all the hero ball stuff that he admitted he was doing last year. Well, he's got to be his version of an MVP, not Cam Newton's version of an MVP, not Brett Favre's version of an MVP.
Right. You're kind of countering your own argument there. So you're saying he's got to play conservatively to be his best self. Like, he doesn't need to be an MVP candidate. He needs to tone it down.
I'm not even saying it. I hate saying conservative, though, because I don't.
It kind of sounds like what you were saying.
I know when you say like point guard, it kind of makes you feel like conservative.
You're getting to the game manager territory.
But it's got to be smart. Like, why can't it be, last year he was admitted he was doing way too much, and it didn't make him look like an MVP. It made him look turnover prone. It made him look skittish, and it made him look like he was not big. He couldn't meet the moment.
But the question was, do they need? Does he need to be an MVP candidate to merit that contract? I'm not even sure about merit the contract, but they don't need him to be an MVP candidate to play at their best. Like, he doesn't need to have big numbers. Jimmy G had decent numbers and got them to the brink of a Super Bowl. Like, this is Kyle Shanahan and the Niners. A, they want to run the ball. B, like, that's not how they're going to win a Super Bowl. They need their defense to get a lead again. Like, I understand what you're saying. 2 years ago, he was, fourth in MVP voting, and that was awesome. But they don't even need him to be fourth. Like, they need him to just, as you said, just be a part of that offense, not be sort of the MVP of that offense.
Well, to me, that's where it goes hand in hand. Like, he will be an MVP candidate if he does have the discipline to actually maximize Kyle Shanahan's offense, not to try to be the one-man band, right? Because that's not generally what the MVP actually, it's about that sometimes. Sometimes it's about one guy just being the end-all, be-all. But other times, like you mentioned, Josh Allen won this past year. His numbers actually were down from what they were. They were running the ball a lot more, but what was he doing? He was being more efficient with the offense. He was doing more with less. There's a lot of ways you can win MVP. For Brock Purdy, it's not going to be playing hero ball. That's definitely not happening. He's not good enough to make that work.
How does that answer the question?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you, when you're saying, like, basically the question was, does he need to be an MVP candidate to justify that money?
Yeah. And the answer is yes.
Oh, okay.
That's 2 years ago, Brock Purdy. Yes, you have to be that guy. You can't change who you are now when you are specific to what Kyle Shanahan wants to run.
But I think the real spirit of the question is, like, does he have to be an elite quarterback for them to win? And, that's what, when I hear that question, that's what I hear. And the answer is, to me, no. He needs to be a game manager. So I understand. You do have a good point. Like, he will be better if he plays more within himself. But the reality is they don't need an MVP, a quarterback, to win here. So does that justify the money? I don't know, because they probably could have paid him less. I don't think anyone else was paying him. But the truth is, like, Brock Purdy doesn't need to be a top 10 quarterback to win. I think he could be the 15th best quarterback. Now, let's say 12th best quarterback in the NFL and still be just fine.
I don't know.
Where do you think he needs to be? What? Like, better than Jared Goff, for example?
No, but I think that he has to get better. Like, I think that he has to get better at running the offense if they want to win. Because here's the thing about the 49ers. Like, you get paid $60 million a year, $50 million, whatever it is. You get paid like one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, $181 million guaranteed. That means that when Christian McCaffrey goes down, you still have to be effective. You still have to be able to run the offense, okay? Because Christian McCaffrey
run the offense.
He couldn't do that last year.
Well, last year was a total mess with everybody.
Okay,
it was really where Trent Williams went down too, and then Debo went down, and then there was everybody went down. But yeah, but I still think, like, they have, they just signed Brian Robinson or traded for Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Like, I still think, like, if it gets to the situation where there's no run game, it's not going to happen for him. So,
and then I think you would understand where the criticism would come in, right? Because Kyle Shanahan can scheme up a run game no matter what. It was fine. Even the run game is not actually what took the big hit last year. It was Purdy trying to go for too much, holding onto the ball, not taking checkdowns, not taking the underneath stuff, and trying to play too much hero ball. That's what he cannot do. And listen, the wide receiver core is clearly an issue. Everyone's hurt. Ayuk's not back yet. And they're signing guys like trading for Sky Moore, Marquez Valdez-Scantling now. Juwan Jennings is still holding out. It seems like he gets more leverage by the day. They're going to have to manage this. And Purdy himself is going to have the discipline to actually just run the offense here and not try to be the hero. So.
Yeah. I guess we're taking the question very differently. I just don't think he needs to be super elite to make this happen. Yeah, it's like really designed for the quarterback, as you're saying, to be a game manager, to be conservative. They do not want to hand the ball off. I mean, honestly, like, what's the real deal with the Niners? Like, Robert Saleh's got to fix that defense and make them elite. You have Nick Bosa, for God's sakes. Like, you should be killing people on defense. I think, honestly, they want a more conservative Brock Purdy. I think we're agreeing on that. Like, they do not want Brock Purdy slinging around and running around at all. So to me, they answer the question like, no, they don't need him to be an MVP candidate to make this deal work out. What they need him to do is win football games. That's number one. And actually, I think we're both saying the same thing. He doesn't need to play like an MVP for them to win football games. The only difference is you're saying if they get the wins, they're going to make him. They're going to vote for him anyway.
He's going to be in the conversation, is what I'm saying. That's what
reality,
MVP to him is not Cam Newton's MVP. That's not what Brett Favre's MVPs look like.
But he doesn't have to play at all like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or any of these guys. He needs to be a totally different kind of quarterback in this situation.
Think about it. 2 years ago, the guys top 5 in MVP voting when they call their team the Yak Kings.
Well,
like, he has nothing. He has very little to do with Yak. I know yards after the catch. I know you want to put your guy in the best position to make a play, but those are also having really great playmakers.
Well, he wasn't even the leading Niner in MVP voting. McCaffrey was 3. So when your quarterback is second in MVP voting, he's obviously on your own team. He's obviously not as important he's very different than Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, the guys who are sort of one-man machines, one-man gangs.
Can I bring up something I think I have not even had let myself kind of go there, and I started thinking about it yesterday. I was thinking about the 49ers a little bit more in depth. We've been talking about their schedule. Literally easiest strength of schedule in the NFL by some metrics. So, like, there's almost like no excuses. What if they start losing with this easy schedule? I know we have not entertained that possibility because on paper they're going to be favored in so many of these games, even with their injuries. But I was thinking about this. Say they lose a couple that they're supposed to win. Man, is the pressure going to start mounting then?
Pressure on who?
The pressure on Kyle Shanahan, on Purdy, on everybody, because they're in their window right now. They were just in the Super Bowl in overtime against the Chiefs 2 years ago. And if you lose some of these games that you're favored in, I think the pressure mounts because we've all looked at the schedule and said, man, there's really just not a lot of hiccups here. But if there are for some reason, it almost makes it doubly bad. It almost makes it like double the amount of pressure on them because there are all these games they should win.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't think you say they're in their window. I'm not sure they're a popular Super Bowl pick, though, because of the injuries. I feel like I have my bar. I think the bar is a little lower on them. It's not like 2 years ago or last year where they were coming off the Super Bowl loss. Like, don't you think, like, how many wins they have last year? 5? 6? 6 wins. Don't you think having a 6-win season the year before lowers, and a bunch of injuries in the offseason lowers the expectations? Like, are you think that, I know like the NFL Cognoscente talks about their strength of schedule a lot, but I don't know to the average fan, like if they're all beat up and they lose some games, is it real? You think that they're not going to get the kind of same passes they got last year?
Yeah, but besides the wide receiver room, which is not nothing, but besides the wide receiver room, where are they? I thought they're healthier coming into the year, right? You got Christian McCaffrey's healthy, Kittle's healthy. The defense, they got rid of a lot of the guys who are perennially hurt.
But they're super old.
But they're getting younger. They're telling you that they are parting ways with guys who are older to make way for some of the younger guys.
Man, I'm already looking at their depth chart. There's so much red. There's so many Qs. There's so many IRs. It's crazy. Like they already have at least like half their team is hurt according to this depth chart. Because they remember Mac Jones of all people got hurt. I don't know how that happened.
That doesn't factor in.
But Jacob Cowing got hurt. Like they've had a lot of like. Receiver is not a small thing. They've had a lot of different little things happen in the last few months. People are like, whoa, it feels like the possibility of them being snake bitten is out there again.
See, on the defense, though, I'm not seeing a lot of injuries here. And their highest profile guys outside of Ayuk, who we knew was going to be out for a lot of this year, and Jennings. But to be honest, the Jennings thing is in their control. If they want Juwan Jennings back on the field, that can happen with one snap of a finger and one stroke of a pen. That's just a contract thing. So, you want to keep signing MVS and trading for Sky Moore. I mean,
well, also the other thing
whatever.
Too is a lot of guys are coming off major injuries, so that plays into this, I think, as well. Like McCaffrey, for example. Well, are you confident you're going to get 18 games out of him? He was really hurt last year.
Sorry. Also, Dominic Pooney, the right guard, Kyle Shanahan saying yesterday that he feels confident that he will be ready for week 1. Ditto, I believe, Ben Barch, who's also their left guard. And Demarcus Robinson has been suspended for the first 3 games. Again, that's not injury, though, and he's not going anywhere. He just got suspended because of driving thing. Was it DUI? I think it was. Okay.
So, but I just don't think nobody's picking them to win the Super Bowl, though, right? Would you?
I think that they should not be getting a pass here to have a really good season.
Well, here's one.
You have your main guys healthy, except for Ayuk, who you are going to be getting back.
Here's one thing to consider, though. All 4 NFC West teams have easy schedules. They all.
And he was trying to do something, and I applaud him for that. And he did what he needed to do. Is it worth what he's getting paid? I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't an NFL player that's worth what these guys are getting today. I mean, I'm sorry, there just isn't. There's not a baseball player.
Well, okay, but Bill, here's the quote that Purdy gave to Albert Breer about last year. Quote, I was trying to do too much. I felt this pressure on myself that I need to be the Superman type guy and go out and make plays off schedule. Dude, that's the last thing you want from him.
No, of course he's going to say that. Any good quarterback says that. They that's what Josh Allen, when they did. I got to do this. I got to do, because they're the leader of the team. They got to take the brunt of it all.
Yeah, but Josh Allen isn't turning in 6-win seasons. Like, that's the thing, dude. I know. No, Bill, I understand where you're coming from, but, like, that's the truth, right? And Josh Allen doesn't have nearly a weapon like a healthy Brandon Ayuk or Christian McCaffrey.
Josh Allen has weapons. I've seen Josh Allen since he was in high school.
Yeah.
And he's good. He's great. He's got weapons. I don't know why you don't see his weapons, Maggie, considering Buffalo is your team. He's got plenty of weapons.
Bill, okay.
Who
do you think is going to be the leading receiver for the Bills this year?
It's not. Well, that's what the point here is. Josh Allen, he ain't got no leading receiver. He actually uses everybody on the team. He doesn't pick out one person to go to.
Right.
He'll get out there, he'll see the field, and he'll get it to whoever he goes to.
Yes, and when Brock Purdy was asked to do the same thing, they won 6 games. See, like, that's the thing to me, where it's apples to oranges when you're talking about these two quarterbacks, but that doesn't mean that Purdy can't be in the MVP conversation. The way that he does that is not doing too much, not being Superman type guy. Right?
Well, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Purdy was in the MVP conversation a few years back, which he should have won the MVP, not Hurts. He should have won it, Jackson, and Purdy should have won the MVP. He was much better because he lost to Baltimore in the one game.
Yeah.
That took him out of it. That was and then Cam Newton. Who in the hell is Cam Newton? Gets more votes than him in the MVP? Please. Cam Newton couldn't carry most people's jobs in the NFL, but yeah.
Are we talking about the same Cam Newton? What are you talking about, man?
I'm sorry. I'm Dak Prescott. I'm sorry.
Oh, Dak Prescott. You're talking about. Okay, you said Cam Newton. I'm like, what? Are you watching football?
I'm sorry. That was my bad.
Okay.
That's Dak Prescott getting more votes than he did. I mean, Dak Prescott still can't do anything, and look at what he's.
Hold on. Wait. I'm sorry. That's my point. Is that Dak Prescott was getting those MVP votes, Pearl, not because anyone thought he was a better quarterback than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. It's because he was in that running Mike McCarthy's plays, and for that year, he was putting up great numbers. They're winning 12 games. This is a regular season award, remember? And that was enough to put him in the MVP conversation. Same thing, Brock Purdy. This is his own quote. Quote, there were moments when I was like, dude, you've got to go back to the basics. It doesn't matter who's out there. The way Kyle calls plays, you run it right, just like your rookie year, and it works. Stick to that and be consistent. Don't go searching because Christian McCaffrey is out of the game and you think you have to go replace him. These are Brock's own words reflecting on last year's season and how bad it was. What?
Well, why's Cam Newton got to take shrapnel in this conversation?
Cam Newton.
No. By the way, why's Dak got to take why's Dak got to take some shrapnel? If Dak was with Kyle Shanahan, he'd probably ball out too.
Who in the hell is Cam Newton?
Yeah. Which gets back
Bill.
to my point.
He just misspoke. All of us.
Bill got down. Okay. Yelling aside and ripping Dak and Cam, not Cam, but it gets out of there. He doesn't believe in system quarterback, like in the sense that, like, he's right. Everybody runs a system, but I mean, obviously, Josh Allen and Brock Purdy not same. And I hear what you're saying, like you're agreeing with me, like Dak. He doesn't really need to play like an MVP. What you described is he's just got to go out there and run the plays.
And he'll be in the MVP conversation if he does that.
Right, but I mean, that's a very fine point, but that really wasn't the question. The question was, do you need to pay $50 million a year for that?
I think $50 million should be something that puts you at least, like, this is where you and I differ. I think if you're getting paid $50 million a year, you should have pressure to win a Super Bowl. And that's, I think, where you and I disagree.
You think Tua has pressure to win a Super Bowl?
He should. I mean,
win a Super Bowl. That guy's got to get to the playoffs. Like, by the way,
win a playoff game, maybe because their team is so mid. But I would just say, like, that's if this is where you and I disagree. You think $50 million just the going rate and like all that. I think if you're making that much money, $181 million guaranteed, like you should feel the pressure, not just be out there slinging it around, like hoping for a good season.
So Purdy is tied for 7th in average salary per year. He'll be 10th by next year, be 12th by the year after that. So he's somewhere between 7 and 15. Where I think we also disagree, and this is we got a break, but a bigger question: how many quarterbacks are good enough to win the Super Bowl? I think there are at least 15. So I don't know. You could get even if you're 50. I just think a lot of guys could win the Super Bowl, and I think that $53 million is not outrageous. There should be at least 15 quarterbacks making the highest rate, right? I mean, honestly, like if does Jared Goff deserve that money? Yes. And is there pressure with
and there's pressure on him to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I mean, so you're saying,
so.
I guess there's pressure on how many quarterbacks have pressure to win a Super Bowl then?
I think if your contract starts with a 5 is the first number, you should be feeling it. And if one person goes down in your offense, even a very important one, your season should not be over because of it.
Now we have 12 quarterbacks who start with a 5. So you can't say that, I understand there's pressure on a quarterback, but like realistic pressure? I mean, Tua is not winning a Super Bowl, Maggie.
That's crazy that he has all that money. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, little there on Brock Purdy. You're welcome to weigh in. Also coming up, a question about Miami and Notre Dame that you are going to have an opinion on, we promise. Impossible not to. Maggie and Perloff Show.
Everybody knows the quarterback.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining.
Ruber showed up with a racket in hand, talking like he's finally the man with the plan. So this year's my
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining.
Well, Daly took the court and the crowd got loud. Rube was talking tough, trying to stand ground. But the first big serve cracked like a whip, and Bellotti still hadn't punched his trip. We called his phone, not a single ring. Daly just laughed, well, I broke a string. But 2 new pairs of Nikes are on their way, and Bellotti's still off on his holiday. Bellotti's still out, Daly's still in. Rube got served and he'll never win. From the baseline grind to the trophy shine, beats PTO streaks doing just fine. And somewhere out west, Perloff staying gone. He ain't driving to Wemby, not to San Antone. Perloff took one look at the Grand Canyon White, said nope, that's where my bravery died. He'd rather dodge calls than face that road, than say I'm sorry to Wemby in Spurs mode. Back on the court, Daly kept his cool, busting out shots like a country school. Rube was running, but he couldn't hang, and Bellotti still missing from the whole thing. Bellotti's still out, Daly still in. Rube got served and he'll never win. New Nikes coming in the mail today, and Bellotti's work streaks here to stay. And somewhere out west, Perloff staying gone. He ain't driving to Wemby, not to San Antone.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff show. Maggie's back from vacation, so if you want to call in and yell about her Brock Purdy take, that would be wonderful.
I thought about it on the beach.
Yeah, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I think we ought to change the Brock Purdy question.
All right, the question was, does Brock Purdy have to be a perennial MVP candidate to justify his big contract?
I like the question.
Well, I think it's the same question, but
fine.
a little bit different version. Does he need to be a perennial MVP candidate, or does he need to be an MVP level quarterback for them to win a Super Bowl? I think it's the second question. Is that I don't even know if that's different. But again, I am sorry. Like, he does not need to throw 40 touchdowns. He does not need to throw for 4,500 yards. He just needs to avoid turnovers and run this offense. And honestly, when you think about 2019, when they should have beaten the Chiefs, like, that was a run attack. And you think about what was Brock Purdy might have been an MVP candidate, but what was that year identified by? That was the Christian McCaffrey year.
Yeah.
So I don't think Brock Purdy has to be an MVP. If he's the second best player on his offense, that's just fine.
You mentioned he doesn't have to, throw 40 touchdowns for them to win a Super Bowl. I'm looking around at the rest of the NFC, like, he might. I know that it's not like the Eagles' passing attack was even an issue last year.
Hurts disappeared for a month.
But I'm looking at high-flying offenses. I'm looking at the Lions. I'm looking at what could the Bears be. Your precious, beloved Rams. Your Washington Commanders. Your Vikings. I mean, these are big offenses.
No. These
Commanders.
Half those teams you just named are probably going to be better on defense. Like, the Vikings have J.J. McCarthy. The Bears, I mean, that's the Bears. Their quarterbacks never throw for 4,000 yards. The Eagles are the best defense. And the Rams, I think, are becoming more of a defense-first team as well. The
Lions were scoring like 50 on people.
But the Lions lost everybody. So, like, they lost both their coaches. I am not worried about the Lions. I do not think that it's going to be a high-flying. I think the key for San Francisco is defense. Like, they got to kill the other quarterback.
Big Friendly is in Cali. What's up, Big Friendly?
Good morning, Maggie Malone, EJ, the Bionic EP, Perloff, Smirnoff, Formula One, Little Big Swifty, the man, the myth, Manny Wapo. Good morning, and thank you for taking my call.
What do you got, Big?
Maggie Malone, when I come to your table, I come with respect and I come with facts. Now, I ask all of you guys, if you got any shrapnel protection, put it on. I'm about to go Tommy DeSimone on these delusional Niner fans.
Okay.
Daddy cool, keep your hands where I can see them. Brock Purdy is not worth $50 million a year. Now, this man and my man Bill in California, let me break this down to you. You had Ricky Pearsall, stud, came back from being shot. You had Brandon Ayuk you gave money to, bona fide stud. You guys got the tight end that looks like horse teeth. I don't care about his name, but he's a stud. You guys had a defense that could shut and stop anybody. I'm going to say this until you 49er fans listen. The problem is your coach. Kyle Shanahan, I couldn't keep a lead hand, couldn't coach his way out of a wet paper bag at the bottom of the ocean. Maggie, am I lying?
You're not lying.
Oh, come on.
No, here's the no, friendly. I'm backing you up. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy together are a perfect marriage. Kyle has to answer for losing these leads in Super Bowls, no doubt.
Big friendly. I saw Andy Reid screw up every game management situation for a decade. Eventually, Kyle's going to figure this out. He can't keep making these mistakes.
Well, he doesn't have Patrick Mahomes walking through that door. He's got Brock Purdy.
Well, I mean, but Reid matured as a coach, and I think Kyle Shanahan's still in his 40s. He will too.
Okay, Daddy Smirnoff. Real quick, because I think you're drinking too much of what you're holding on to. When Andy Reid was in Philly, he took that team from the basement all the way to the top.
So did Kyle Shanahan.
The only problem was, I understand, but Kyle Shanahan came to a 49ers team that already had a lot of talent.
What?
Andy Reid.
He took over from that guy with Jim Tom Sula.
Oh, Maggie, don't hang up. He had Patrick Willis. When he came to the 49ers, that man had a team that Hardball built, and he still couldn't get out the boxes. Daddy Cool, what are we talking about here?
Kyle Shanahan got to a Super Bowl in his third year in San Francisco. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying I understand that, but I'm saying when Kyle Shanahan came to the 49ers, he had the team that Hardball built. Yeah, he added a couple of pieces, but he already had a Super Bowl talented team in place in Frisco. So it's not like when Kyle Shanahan, I can't keep a lead hand, came in, he had to restock the shelves. No, the shelves were stocked. He's letting it spoil, Daddy Cool. And I got to get to work. I love you. You have a good day.
Friendly, thank you. Just one quick point of emphasis. It was Chip Kelly who Kyle Shanahan took over from. It went Harbaugh, Tom Sula, Kelly, and then to Kyle Shanahan.
You fired me up even more, man.
Sorry, I mean, the best players on that team were, Nick Bosa and Fred Warner were not Jim Harbaugh guys. They came with Shanahan. So whatever, that team was also built. Shanahan did not take over this full cupboard and just take Jim Harbaugh's guys. That's not what happened.
Trent
looking at that
Baalke
team.
did a lot to kind of undo some of this.
Yeah.
Kittle was already there. Jimmy G got there, I guess, was traded that first year with Shanahan because didn't Belichick call Kyle Shanahan and was like, I'll give you Jimmy Garoppolo for a second-round pick?
Yes. So, he was not with Jim Harbaugh. This was not a Jim Harbaugh team. He did not inherit a totally full stack roster. I mean, those were great drafts. 2018, when they got Bosa and Warner, was a huge deal. I don't think Raheem Mostert was with Shanahan. Anyway, regardless. You and I argue about this all the time. Kyle Shanahan has made massive game management mistakes, some of the most famous in NFL history. I'm telling you, he will figure that out. He's 45. He has 25 more years of this.
Yeah, but if you're a 49er fan, you're hoping he figures it out this year,
Could
not
easily,
25 years from now when he's coaching the Broncos or something.
Could easily be his second team. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I know the schedule is easy. Again, the Niners, you don't think coming off of last year, the hype is down a little bit? You asked if they lose games they should win, is there going to be a lot of pressure? Of course, by definition. But I don't think it's going to be like if your Bills started losing games or the Ravens started losing games, everybody this is chaos. The Niners have a lot to prove this year.
Bogish, we see you guys on the phones. Get back to that in just a moment. Bogish has the latest and greatest headlines. What's up, dude?
Maggie, I learned something very important, very flattering this week. On Tuesday, I worked down the hall for a morning.
Okay.
And Manny missed me a lot.
He's a cheater and an adulterer. That's what he is.
That's how he's covering for his real emotions. And our connection now, it was special to me. It is special to me. So I wanted to give Manny a present.
Oh, you got me 2K?
So here's a soccer forward update for Manny.
I'll take it.
Okay, and I'm going to need his help to describe something here, level of an upset that we had yesterday. This is the Carabao Cup. It's a season-long tournament in England. I think all the pro clubs in the country can be in it.
Yes, the top 4 tiers, which is 92 teams.
Okay, so
Oh,
yesterday.
wow. So it's their March Madness, but August.
Not
August
Not really. It's
the FA Cup is bigger, right?
The FA Cup is a lot bigger, yes.
So it's like the NIT, maybe? I don't know. Either way, we have Powerhouse Man United yesterday visiting 4th Division. So the last group of teams into this field.
Okay.
Grimsby Town.
So this is Duke versus.
Well, that's what we're going to get to in a second.
Okay.
Let me just keep setting the picture here. Grimsby somehow takes a 2-0 lead yesterday.
2-0.
Man U rallies from 2-0, 2-2. They don't decide in regular time. We end up in the beloved PKs.
Guemo hasn't been under that pressure yet, but now he is. He has to score, remember. Listen to the noise from the Grimsby fans. And Guemo off the crossbar!
Listen to that roar.
Grimsby have beaten Manchester United in the most dramatic circumstances. It is Blundell Park Bedlam.
Nothing like Blundell Park
Oh,
Bedlam.
good call.
It's an absolute stunner. It was at Grimsby Town.
Yeah,
this
I mean-
as
How'd
well?
they get the home game?
Well, that's the thing with these tournaments. They try to get the crowd to come in by getting the bigger clubs into these smaller tier teams that, that hold 2,000 people, 3,000 people. So, yeah, that's how they get they draw them at home. The smaller teams get
Wait, hold on.
the
Manchester
revenue.
United played in front of 3,000 people?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
Just
that's
about,
how
yeah.
that's how the cups work
That's
in England.
crazy.
Yeah, my favorite soccer English team is Spurs. And a couple years
Tottenham,
ago, they
yes.
played at a place, I can't remember the team name, but they played at their field, which looked like a high school field. Like it had a chain link fence around it with houses. Like it was like just in the middle of a block. And they went and played a match there in this event. It's crazy. So what is this?
Yeah, give us a
Here,
North American
is this
sports comp to what just happened
the
yesterday.
Yankees losing a single A team, like
yeah.
Peter Schwartz's kids' Division III football team. They
Well, let me
lost
ask you
snaps for winning at Alabama. Like, what's the connection here?
I mean, Division I losing to a Division III school, bigger than probably App State beating Michigan. I mean, this is the littlest dude that you can find. United, wanted to pick on them, but what? The little guy fought back, and they ended up upsetting. It's
Wait,
an
was
enormous
everyone
upset.
from United playing?
Oh yeah, no, they had
Full squad.
They had their A team going. They had Mateus Cunha there. They had Bruno Fernandes in there. They Harry Maguire. They had their A team.
So, Maggie, you're from Binghamton.
Yeah.
Grimsby has 85,000 people.
Yeah.
How many do you think Binghamton has?
Like 60?
So this is like kind of like Binghamton-sized city.
Yeah, I just can't imagine like the Yankees, the Cowboys playing in a 3,000 seat arena.
Yeah.
That's less than my college.
I sold them a little bit. I undersold them by a lot, but 9.5K, so 9,500 people fit in this stadium. But still, it's nothing quite like Old Trafford that sits 50,000.
Yeah, still
I'm looking at the
10,000
pictures.
seats. That's
I'm
like, what does Fordham seat?
I mean, I'm looking at the
sit?
pictures
for
of this,
football, 5,000.
This picture of the stadium. I mean, this looks high school.
And just the absolute scenes as well, because, I mean, they don't see clubs coming in like this, and they had a pitch storming afterwards, security. They just kind of let them go because Grimsby Town upset Manchester United. It's an historic day in soccer.
The Grimsby goalie after the game said, "I'm like a third of me is PO'd because I'm a Man U fan."
Yeah, like these guys.
And we can't lose these matches.
I mean,
That's what the goalie said. The winning
said,
goalie.
He said, I'm a little steamed because I'm a Man U fan.
Because I actually had money on the game.
I mean, these guys are making what, 500 to 1,000 pounds a week playing soccer. I mean, nothing even close to what these players on Manchester United make. So, I mean, yeah, these guys have their own personal, affection to these clubs because, respectfully, they're never going to get to the Premier League. So they're still rooting for the teams that they grew up rooting for. And yeah, the goalkeeper yesterday, a lot of people were like, yeah, no, I'm pretty angry myself for beating Manchester United because I just beat my own Red Devils.
Yeah. Do any American celebrities own this team? Is that
Not yet, but now they will.
Are they on TV?
Grimsley, is that what it's called? Grimsby, yes.
Maybe we can afford it.
Soon to be
Probably not.
owned, I'm sure, by like John Travolta. Like, who's going to buy this?
I always see Wrexham scores on ESPN.com, like main ESPN.com, are they still like red hot?
Yeah, Wrexham, I mean, they were in League Two. They were in the 4th division about 5 years ago, and now they're just in the 2nd division. I mean,
Same division as Grimsby?
No. I mean, yeah, back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, yeah, Wrexham was playing against Grimsby, but since then, I mean, they've
since Ryan Reynolds brought the team,
they've been promoted to the 2nd division. They're right on the cusp of making it to the Premier League. Yes,
I think it'd be pretty cool to have an NBA team do this, like, or NBA like league do this, where they play against like random European teams in these small arenas where there's smoke bombs going off in the background, and they're having to win in like a major tournament. That'd be pretty fun. It'd be way better than in-season tournament.
But they do get to play the Wizards every year. It's similar, right?
No smoke bombs going off, but yeah.
Wait,
true.
real quick. Also, the cool thing about this soccer game, the PKs, they don't usually go too long. This one was a 12-11 finish in PKs. You usually see a 4-3 finish in PKs. The fact that they had to go through their entire lineup, including the goalies kicking PKs, and then they had to recycle the entire lineup and start from the very top. I'm getting chills just retelling the story.
And we're not done with soccer, Manny, because here in the States last night, the League Cup semifinals, Inter Miami, Orlando FC knotted at 1 late in regular time.
Telacco, Jordi, Messi,
Messi, the game winner, in the 88th minute, 11 minutes after he tied the match. So it's a second half brace for Messi. Miami wins 3-1. They reach Sunday's final at Seattle. The Sounders a 2-0 win over the LA Galaxy last night. And Miami and Seattle qualify for the next CONCACAF Champions Cup by making the League's Cup final.
I love Lionel Messi.
We know.
Yeah. One more nice thing for Manny. The Yankees, they won yesterday. They had a 9-run inning, but the Blue Jays won and the Red Sox won, so nothing changes in the AL East. Toronto +4 on Boston. Yanks a half game behind them.
Yeah, but who hit his 26th home run of the season last night or yesterday afternoon? Trent Grisham.
1-1, the pitch. Swinging a high drive into left field. That
this is the wrong home run. I'm sorry.
It's at the wall and is gone. Say done. Say hello to Baltimore.
Yeah, that was a Red Sox home run. That's how Boston won to keep the Yankees behind them. Sorry, I thought that's where we were going with.
Is that where are you mislabeling highlights now? So
No,
that
I
Manny
was
will click on them?
gonna leave it out because for time constraints. For them, and Manny mentioned before we could get to his Trent Grisham love affair. I wanted to jump in with the Red Sox.
I love Trent Grisham.
By the way, who didn't hit a home run for the Yankees yesterday?
Anthony Volpe.
He's one for
most
50.
That's most days.
Dog.
Okay.
It's the New York Yankees, damn it.
Coming back, thank you, Bogish. The one forgotten Super Bowl contender in the NFC.
The
Plus,
Giants.
Your questions about Brock Purdy. Does he have to be an MVP for the Niners to win a Super Bowl? Maggie and Perloff Show.
Yummy.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Perloff took one look at the Grand Canyon. Will Daly packed his racket, heading west with pride, up to Denver's mountains where the tennis streams collide. He's stepping on that hardcore with the Rockies in his view, chasing down a victory with a heart that's tried and true. Oh, Daly's taking a big step up. The mile highlights are calling his bluff, but back at home, the same old song where Peter Bellotti don't show up for work at dawn. Yeah, the anthem's playing, but truth still stands. Daly's fighting in Denver with the racket in his hands. Now shit keeps talking, but one thing's sure, it'll never stream on YouTube. That door's not secure, and Bogush is laughing, spin a tale so absurd about Peter Schwartz and a story you never heard. Drunkle Sam's at the office, new boss in control, pouring coffee in the break room with a humble old soul. Oh, Daly's taking the big step up. The mile highlights are calling his up, but back at home it's the same old tune where Peter Bellotti don't show up for work at dawn. Yeah, the anthem's ringing, the voice is loud, Daly standing tall and making us proud. From the city streets to the mountain skies, there's a fire in his game and a fight in his eyes. No Bellotti alarm clock, no shit streaming live, but Daly's got the spirit that keeps the dream alive. Taking the big step up, the Denver crowd just can't get enough. Bellotti's missing, Bogusch tells lies, ship won't stream, Sam's boss keeps him tight. But through it all, there's a victory song, Daly in Denver where the champions belong. Yeah, Daly in Denver where the champions belong. Daly packed his racket, heading west with pride, up to Denver's mountains, where the tennis streams collide. He's stepping on that hard court with the rock.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This portion of the show is sponsored by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on now. Get deals so right it almost feels wrong. Don't miss out. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. All right, people in their feelings about the Niners, Maggie.
Yeah, because I think you and I disagree on whether they're a legit Super Bowl contender, whether they're getting a lot of hype or not. Like, what you see, the roster that they have, the schedule that they have, should they be considered a Super Bowl contender?
Well, I think the question off of that is, should Kyle Shanahan be on the hot seat if they can't win at the highest level with this roster and this schedule?
Yeah, it's all there for you. Although Allen in Wisconsin has an interesting theory, or maybe an interesting proposal. What's up, Allen?
All right, so you got, between the callers and you guys touched on Dak and Josh and Purdy for a moment and their salaries.
Yeah.
A while back there was like this little thing with the owners, like were they colluding about, I think it was maybe contract guarantees or something like that.
Yeah, after Deshaun Watson.
The problem with these quarterback salaries is that it all basically gets traced back to Joe Flacco. When he bet on himself and won a Super Bowl, now every GM for the past 20-plus years has been trying to overpay. So, overpay early because they think it'll be cheaper later. And like I told your producer, if a guy has not won a Super Bowl, if I'm an owner, I'm going to collude to not pay anybody over $30 million who has not won a Super Bowl.
Well, you can't collude.
I mean, they're not worth it. They're not worth it, because if you want to really like slap yourself in the face and like look at something, go down the NFL, go down the rosters, and look at the quarterback pay, and look at who hasn't won a division title, and look at the money they're getting, and you'll be really surprised at who's getting serious stupid money who hasn't even won their own division.
Alan, interesting proposal. So you're saying that if a guy has not won a Super Bowl, or even you saying let alone the division or what have you, they should not be eligible to make more than a certain percentage.
Well, $30 million. I mean, first of all, how many quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl that are actually?
Well, Mahomes kind of had a little bit of a
Tom
run
Brady,
here.
Joe Flacco, baby.
I mean, how many are there? There's Joe Flacco, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, and Jalen Hurts.
Of the current guys.
Yeah, wait, we must be missing something. There's only 5 guys who are getting paid $50 million.
Well, Brady retired.
Yeah, Brady and Mahomes have dominated the whole thing. So that means what happens to TJ Watt making $40 million a year? So you got to spend this cap on somebody. You can't just have 5 quarterbacks at $50 million.
I'm trying
That's
to think
not enough.
if this really did change with Flacco. The Flacco betting on himself and getting $100 million, which at the time was like a really big deal.
Yeah.
I think it was more about the rookies' wage scale, how they did that, because now you can pay a guy after his 3rd year.
Oh, yeah.
And so sometimes, GMs will get ahead of it.
The rookies used to make huge money too before they
the Sam Bradfords of the world and such.
Stafford got like $60 million off the bat. I don't know. I just feel like it is in some senses, appropriate use of salary cap space because the quarterback is that important. There's only one way to have sustained success in the NFL, and that's quarterback. So these guys are not really overpaid. I know it sounds like a lot, but I mean, they're much more valuable than any other position.
I agree. But I do think if you make $50 million plus, the expectation should be the expectation is Super Bowl. I know some teams it's not going to work out that way with the Tuas and, I don't know, Trevor Lawrence or whatever. But, that should be the expectation if you're getting paid that much. Rich is in California. What's up, Rich?
Well, the only problem with that logic, there's an assumption that the quarterback is on the field literally by himself.
Yeah.
There's 10 other guys involved. There's 53 other guys on that ball club. So the point being that you literally tie all this up as to, well, if you're not going to the Super Bowl, you're not worth $50 million. Guess what? Welcome to capitalism. Yeah. That's what they get.
Yep.
So bottom line is it's the cost of doing business.
Yeah, not true capitalism because there's literally a cap on it. Like if it was true capitalism, these quarterbacks would make God knows how much.
Well, since when, if you're betting on an owner ever showing restraint, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Okay? The point being here that I don't know if the 49ers are going to go to, though I think they'll make it to the playoffs. As where they go any farther, I don't know. Because you've got a defense full of rookies and you've got a depleted receiver room and a questionable offensive line. And they're going to be playing against NFL teams. It doesn't matter whether it's a tough schedule, a weak schedule, or whatever schedule.
Yeah.
Any one of them can beat anybody else on any given Sunday.
Also, you got a lot of old guys who are injury prone, too. That's my biggest fear.
Rich, I hear you, man. The only thing is we're talking about the 49ers' easy schedule. Like, you lose games at New Orleans, Jacksonville at home, Atlanta at home, Carolina at home, Tennessee at home. I know it's any given Sunday, but you start losing some of those games, people are going to be like, what the hell is going on with the 49ers? I just named teams that are bottom
they go
feeders.
0-16, that would be a bad thing.
Okay, we got more next.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Man, could things be going any better for the Chiefs? I mean, not just the Travis Kelce news with Taylor Swift. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. The Rashee Rice thing, that has worked out so well for them.
Wait. Have you been following the Rashee Rice thing? The first thing was, the NFL's helping out the Chiefs by letting Rashee Rice be on the field for this tough first part of the schedule.
Yeah, I never understood that logic.
That was everybody was saying that.
Yeah, but people are stupid. Like the arbitration part of Rashee Rice, who got into and caused a huge car wreck in Dallas that he will at some point have to serve 30 days in prison for. They've come to a conclusion before the season even started. Yeah. We thought this was going to happen later on, that he's just going to be suspended for the first 6 games of the season. And I'm not saying that that's nothing, but man, that's not really a blip for me as far as hurting the Kansas City Chiefs. Like their offense is going to be fine, and the Chiefs, the regular season, that's not even like a thing for the Chiefs. You don't even start talking about a Chiefs season until they get like to the AFC championship game.
Well, first of all, I think that you're going against the grain of what everyone else thought. Listen to their schedule for these 6 games. Los Angeles, the Chargers in Brazil, then Philly, the defending champion, at New York. That should be manageable. Baltimore at Jacksonville, and then Detroit. So they get Detroit, Baltimore, and Philly in this window. They only lost 1 meaningful game last year. They lost 2 overall because they didn't play anybody in the last week. Like, that's a huge deal for this team.
And do you really think Rashee Rice is the difference about whether or not they win these games?
Well,
there's one person that's the difference, and we all know who it is, and it's Mahomes. As long as he's healthy, and by the way, he doesn't even have to be healthy, and they still win. He could be limping around.
It was also, there was a possibility it was going to be 4 games. So this was not like, I think the fact that they settled on 6 was on the high end.
Okay, how many games did Rashee Rice play last year?
He played 4.
4 games. And where did Kansas City go? To the Super Bowl. Like, it just doesn't matter.
Well,
I think we all try to find these reasons to like poke holes. I've done it too. Three-peat. It's too much pressure and all this, that, and the other thing. The defense may be leading the way, and the offense got stale. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They're there all the time. It's good news for the Chiefs because they'll have their full complement when it actually gets to any part of the season that matters to them, which is the playoffs.
Yeah, but at best it's neutral news because you just said Rashee Rice doesn't matter to whether they win or lose, but I guess he matters later.
Well,
but
I'm just
by
saying,
the way, I do think Rashee Rice is an important part of it. Like what happened last year, like they did go 15-2, but their offense definitely slowed down, and there was a lot of coin toss games that went their way. Like, for example, the Denver game.
15 games.
Right. But their margin of victory was very small.
Okay. I mean, it's the NFL.
Yeah, like there's no way they're winning all those. All the games they won last year, like Rice is probably, like I would say he's the best offensive player on that team, other than obviously the quarterback. Like, unless you want to go Worthy over him.
You got Worthy. You've got Hollywood Brown, who's healthy now. You've got Travis Kelce, who's reinvigorated in better shape by his own admission.
Yeah, but Rice is.
He's got wedding plans now.
Rice is kind of a star. If he was fully healthy, like last year, he was in his first 3 games, he was like taking off. He's incredibly talented.
Okay, but if they were really worried about the offense first, they would have added someone else. In fact, they got rid of Sky Moore. Like they just don't. You can tell by the Chiefs themselves that I don't think they believe that this is a really
no.
Huge
It's not bad, but honestly, it was reported 4 to 6 games, and they thought they were going to have them for this early part of the schedule. So regardless, at best, it's neutral news. You're right. Of course, they have Patrick Mahomes thing, but I do kind of think they might come out of this first stretch with a few dings. Like, I don't think 15-2 is happening again this year.
Well, I doubt it because you expect that the division is going to be even better this year, especially Chargers and Broncos, right? We'll see what happens with the Raiders. I think the Raiders are at least going to be, like, representative. I don't know if they're going to be total bottom feeder, and they shouldn't be after the upgrades that they made at coach, quarterback, et cetera. I'm tired of Chiefs doubt, Chiefs fatigue, Chiefs anything, It's just they are the team to beat. I understand your Philadelphia Eagles are the reigning Super Bowl champs, Pearl, but the Chiefs are the dynasty of this moment. They are still the measuring stick and litmus test by all other AFC teams especially AFC teams are going to be measured by, and the AFC has the better quarterbacks right now. So it's a huge, huge thing.
Can you mark that down? 9:05 Eastern on August 28th. If the Chiefs start out 3-3, because we're not because of Rice, it just happens their schedule is incredibly front loaded.
Sure.
If they're 3-3, will your confidence waver a bit?
No.
3-3? The Chiefs being 3-3 would be something because they didn't lose any games last year.
Have they not earned the benefit of the doubt? I mean, that it doesn't really matter about what the regular season looks like.
It definitely felt different last year, though. I'm into the Chiefs. I'm a big proponent of the Chiefs, but it definitely felt like they were not as head and shoulders above everyone else last year.
Can I tell you when the moment for me when the Chiefs turn from awesome, amazing dynasty to boogeyman, scary mode, oh my gosh, this Michael Myers, he can't be killed, is when they didn't need the home field advantage and still got back to the Super Bowl and won. They went to Buffalo and won. They went to Baltimore and won. It was no longer about Arrowhead. It was no longer about getting this home cooking, home field advantage, whatever. They went on the road. They legitimately kicked the Bills' butt. They kicked the Ravens' butt. That, to me, is when they went from, oh, man, they are the team of this generation. And I know they lost badly to your Eagles in the Super Bowl, and that was embarrassing. To me, it has almost no bearing on anything that has to do with the Chiefs. In fact, I think they come back stronger, bigger, better. Even if they don't have the same gaudy regular season record, I bet they're going to be just as scary this year.
So you're definitely, we're going to do Super Bowl.
I'm picking them to win the Super Bowl. I think this is a Travis Kelce into the sunset type of year.
Yeah.
And then right down the aisle.
So I like a lot of things they did. They bolstered their offensive line. I think Xavier Worthy, I was wrong about him. He's going to be really good. The one other thing, last year I think they were lucky to avoid the Ravens in the playoffs. That's the one team.
Bills took them out.
Yeah, the Bills took them out and the field took them out, let's be honest, to some degree. I just think that you're painting a picture. Last year was a little different. There was just I know they won all those games, but it didn't feel like they struggled in that Houston game. Like, Mahomes was under some serious pressure in the playoffs. I don't know. I just feel like you're painting a picture like the Rashee Rice thing doesn't matter and some of the injuries don't matter. I'm curious. Like, I think it's going to be a little dicier.
So what are you predicting here? That they're not going to go back to the Super Bowl?
No, I definitely have the Chiefs winning.
Exactly. See, that's the thing about these dynastic teams.
But I do think like this first six is going to be really hard. I'm very curious. They're lucky they get Detroit at home. Like, I think this first six is going to be way different than last year. I mean, come on. Last year, they almost lost to Carolina. They should have lost to Denver in that game where I don't know how Denver blew that game. There are a bunch of games. That 15-2 was very deceiving.
Can I ask you a question, though? Do we actually care about what your margin of victory is? Like,
yes.
The Patriots won all those Super Bowls, and none were blowouts. They won all those games by a score, by an Adam Vinatieri field goal. They won and lost all those Super Bowls by the skin of their teeth. And does anyone think that their Super Bowls are any less legitimate?
No, but I do think the question is, do you care about margin of victory? I'd have to have some numbers, but I would bet most years, last year was a total exception with KC, teams with the highest margin of victories have a better chance of making the Super Bowl.
That's fine.
Like blowouts, like Super Bowl teams tend to blow out other teams during the regular season. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, you can't argue with the results. Right? The results are the Kansas City Chiefs keep getting to the Super Bowl. They've won 3. You can't argue with that, right?
Right. But usually they have a much higher margin of victory. Like last year was tighter than usual. Like I think they ended up, I don't have the number in front of me. I think they were plus 59 on the season.
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah, it's not much. I do think that matters. Yeah, I think that metric is important. I think if you look through the years, like Super Bowl teams tend to blow out other teams in the regular season, and KC did not do that last year. So there were signs of trouble.
We all should have seen it coming that they were going to lose by 40 points to the Eagles or whatever.
I mean, go back in time. There were a lot of concerns. Remember they moved Joe Tooney to left tackle. I don't think we were so high on the Chiefs last year. It was kind of, it felt dicier last year. Am I doing Monday morning quarterback?
I don't remember thinking of it that way, and I think they were actually favored in the Super Bowl. Am I wrong about that? No, I don't remember what the spread was before the game. Were the Eagles favored in that game?
It was definitely I don't remember at all. It was definitely a different Chiefs team.
I think that's revisionist history for how
but their
badly
offense
the Super Bowl
was not
went.
good.
It wasn't the same, but they were also doing it, I think, a little by they thought this was an effective way to win. I don't think it's because Andy Reid was trying to air the ball out and they just couldn't.
I think their best receiver got hurt in week 4. I think Travis Kelce had a down year by his own admission.
That's true.
He was too busy filming movies. Pacheco got hurt. They just got injuries, and their line became a mess. So I think, You're right. Probably do that Monday morning quarterback thing, but we should have been down on them.
No, everybody was down on the Chiefs.
But it's the
I don't think so.
Same thing happened in the year they lost to the Bucs. Like their O-line got beat up. We did know there was something fishy. We're like, Joe Thuney's moving over there. What a pro. This guy's great. He's been doing this for years. And it turned out that was a mistake.
Kansas City 1-point favorite in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Not much, but still, I don't think anyone was going to the game like, man, this is going to be a bloodbath. Like after the first quarter, we realized something was up.
No, I know. I'm definitely doing revisionist history, but something felt different about KC last year. That their offense got so stale by the end of the year. That Houston game alone, like I felt like I wasn't even watching Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Do you still feel like we're in the Chiefs dynasty? I think we are. I don't know. EJ, I know you maybe think a little differently about the Chiefs. Are we still in the dynasty?
I don't think so. I don't think dynasty. I think this is probably the era post the first 3 out of 4 Super Bowls the Patriots won, when they had this kind of drought.
Yeah, for 9 years.
They were going to AFC Championship games, going to the playoffs, going to Super Bowls, but not necessarily winning. And then the Super Bowl started becoming more spread out. I think that's probably what you'll see in this next Mahomes era, where you're not going to have a back-to-back, or you're not going to have a 3 and 4 years again. But you may have, one off here, AFC Championship here. I don't think you're going to have this he's going to dominate the AFC anymore, in part because I really do think Josh and Lamar are really on his heels. I can't imagine those guys are going to keep not living up to the moment moving forward. Those are the teams that he's going to be facing. I don't see, unless maybe the Texans, who I really do like, by the way, but I don't know if there's a lot of other teams coming up on the heels of those teams to knock them off. So
it depends if you're a Jim Harbaugh believer.
I'm not.
If you
not with the Chargers.
Or if you are a Sean Payton believer.
Not with him either. I'm not. I think those teams are good teams. I think those teams will be, maybe, they may win a division every year, every now and then. But in terms of the playoffs, in terms of who the Chiefs really going to be worried about, Lamar and Josh are still, in their prime, young players. These are not guys 35, 36 years old, and they're not going anywhere. Lamar, I know the owner said that they're working on a contract extension. Those guys are stuck there. They're going to be there for a long time. I can't imagine Mahomes is just going to go perfect against these guys in the playoffs for his entire career. That just doesn't. I can't see that. That'd be impossible to me.
Brady was doing that for a while against Peyton.
I know, but even Peyton then Peyton started getting some.
Well, yeah, but wait, actually, how many times did Peyton beat him when he was in Indianapolis?
In Indianapolis,
just once,
I guess once, but he got him in Denver too. They're probably 4-2, probably something like that. It wasn't it was a first 4 he lost.
Rivers never got him.
Rivers never got him. No, and neither did Ben. But those guys still won titles, though, which is kind of goes back to what I was saying, right? Brady started losing to the Jets and the Ravens. He had some weird, there were some weird teams that kind of came out of nowhere, and maybe Mahomes runs into that every now and then. But those big factors, those 1A quarterbacks in the AFC, they're gonna have something to say about these Super Bowl titles. They're not gonna go 0-for.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are we still in the Chiefs dynasty? Are
Maggie,
we living in it?
We came in after the Chiefs-Bears. You were on vacation. Those first 2 drives of the Chiefs are oh, dear God, how are we going to stop this?
This season's going to be tough for everybody.
Yeah. I'm mad at your Bills.
Why?
Because not only did they trade the pick that ended up being Xavier Worthy
Go Bills.
a couple years ago.
Yeah, which I said was a big deal at the time, and you were like, don't worry about it.
I was wrong.
Xavier Worthy.
Then
Even
the
Taylor
Bills
knew.
and every other team in the league let Josh Simmons out of Ohio State fall to the Chiefs. And by the way, I don't even know how this happened. The Eagles did a little trade the night of the draft where they moved up to take Jihad Campbell and let the Chiefs go. How did the NFL let Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, who was supposed to be out with a huge patellar injury? Now all of a sudden he's dominant and he's a rookie. That seems wrong.
Yeah, well, maybe they were talking to EJ about what the recovery is like on a patellar tendon, and he said it's devastating, and they were like, well, let's stay away.
Every block that Josh Simmons makes, I make fun of EJ.
It's been going on all week.
I know. I love that EJ and an elite athlete are now same.
The guy he did the same injury as EJ in October, man.
Well, can Josh Simmons deliver a take like EJ? No.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Everyone stays in their lane.
Josh Simmons seems like a pretty big personality.
Sounds like Kwame Brown when he talks about the 81-point game. He's like, you see those screens I was setting? I'm like, do you see this rundown I just made? Do you see the cuts I just put together?
Everyone has to just do what they do best. Like Belichick would say, do their job.
Do your job.
No, this is the Chiefs. This is what happens. Everyone else's miscue ends up becoming their fortune.
And a real conversation about the Chiefs, isn't the big issue the depth of their offensive line? So they signed also Jalen Moore, like a journeyman tackle. They got it somehow. I don't know if this year they can avoid to just get butchered up front. Like I'm very curious about how this works out. Their O-line, like Josh Simmons is a rookie coming off a patellar knee injury. It is a starting left tackle. So there's dicey. Like how much magic can Andy Reid pull on the offensive line? That's what I'm concerned about. But I don't like your Bills like doing favors for this team.
Yeah. Well, look back a little bit further back in history, Pearl. Who gave the Chiefs the pick for Patrick Mahomes?
Oh my God!
Also
I forgot
the Bills.
about that. I forgot about that.
No, it makes it even just more devastating.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely in the Chiefs dynasty and the Patriots way, but there's another dynasty that we might want to mention. I mean, Philadelphia Eagles do have the best GM in football.
You calling it back-to-back appearances?
I am very, very strongly thinking about calling a repeat.
I just threw up a little bit.
You know why? I know this is supposed to be about the Chiefs, but our good buddy, Spike Eskin, our former boss, is now at the local station in Philadelphia, had Saquon Barkley on, and Saquon said, you do not have to worry about me having a disappointing season after all those carries last year. I'm going to put that narrative to rest. I'm like, let's go.
I've never seen the true face of a coward.
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with...
And you're just taking Barkley at his word here? Or
that's all I got. That's all I got.
This is not just an athlete talking tough before season starts?
I don't know. What reason is there to be down on the Philadelphia Eagles? Which I think, honestly, like...
You could find 14. You tell me about it all the time. Barkley, workload, how many games is Lane Johnson going to miss?
Well, no. That's the one issue with Saquon Barkley. Is he going to be the same guy? But if I'm the Chiefs, I'm more afraid of the Philadelphia Eagles than I am of the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens.
I do sometimes with the Eagles worry about how they handle success. And I know technically, I guess the last loss in Super Bowl was a failure, but becoming an elite team, going to the Super Bowl, coming up just short, and then starting 10-0, they seem to not handle success well at all. Like they just absolutely cratered. And maybe it was just one bad thing, one bad year, everything coming on top of them, but I'm very curious to see how they respond to being the champions.
It's an underdog kind of city. Yep. It's an underdog mentality, and maybe you can manufacture that. Hell, we've seen teams like Georgia and Alabama somehow call themselves underdogs and stuff. It stretches the imagination. But you're right, Philly is much better maybe as the chasers, not the ones being chased.
Wasn't that a logistical problem, though? They lost both coordinators.
True.
And it took them they wanted Vic Fangio, and they lost in Miami at the last minute or something. So I think that was a big part of the reason. And again, hey, Kellen Moore's down in New Orleans. That could be a problem. Unfortunately, our head coach, not necessarily the best play caller in the world.
Does he even call plays?
No, but he did jump in and call plays.
Oh, right. And
did
they
not
took it
go
away
great.
from him.
Remember that Monday night game the first year where he called like a 20 pass plays in a row with Jalen Hurts? And they're like, what are you doing, bro?
Well,
he's killed by the Cowboys. It was funny.
Also, the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts thing is always,
Well, here's the deal. They do it.
Edge.
They could have the best defense in the league still. I know Milton Williams is gone, but they just have talent up and down that roster. Listen, when you're going to do your Super Bowl pick next week. If you actually look at it on paper, then it's going to be tough to find a better team than Philadelphia.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are we still in the Chiefs dynasty?
Go Birds!
Or is there a new team?
You mean it like the Patriots dynasty where they won 6 Super Bowls over an 18-year span? Like they're not going anywhere.
It's not. No, I mean like are they going back to the Super Bowl? Like, are the Chiefs still the gold standard?
Yeah.
Is kind of what I'm asking.
Like, are they still inevitable?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Like, they could be like the Patriots, and even if they did trip up in this year's playoffs, they're going to win the Super Bowl next year. Like, that's what I think when in Dynasty. Like, they're not going anywhere. They might hit the banana peel in the playoffs one time. Even if they don't win it this year, they're back next year because, look, they just reload and reload and reload. And I'm sorry, they're going to torture you forever, Maggie.
I know. 888-710-4ISN. Lots more to do, including your calls on the Chiefs. We're also asking a question about, does Brock Purdy have to be an MVP candidate for the 49ers to win a Super Bowl and to justify his contract. Coming up, the sneaky Super Bowl contender in the NFC that nobody is talking about. We'll do that next, M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Excuse me, please, one more drink. Could you make it strong? 'Cause I don't need to think.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. All right, Maggie, you're back from vacation.
Yep.
You always come back with a good tale of Maggie. I don't want to say not
Where are you
relaxing,
going with that?
but there's always there's always some drama. It doesn't feel like you necessarily are a person that just gets there day one on vacation and relaxes the entire time without running into any issues.
No, I generally, it takes me a couple days to relax, and by then we're ready to go home.
Yeah, I'm the same way, so that's why I know that to be the case.
No, but I did send you a photo from my vacation, which was we were in Cape Cod, which is beautiful if you ever want to go, but it's a huge photo. It just says warning, and it's just a picture of a great white shark. I mean, it's like out of Jaws. This is a warning. They want to make sure people really heed the I don't know, whatever. There are sharks. It scares the bejesus out of me. I thought I was very proud of myself. I went up to the water up to my waist because my kid is 6 years old, so now he wants to just swim in the ocean. He doesn't think about sharks.
Let me get this right. You went into your waist. I wonder what you were doing.
What?
You're clearly peeing in the ocean.
I was not. I promise I was not.
Why? What's wrong with that? That's what people get up waist high in the ocean.
I don't want to
There's
think
no
about
bathrooms at the beach.
I don't want to think about what's going on in the ocean, or else I'll never get in.
That's how you get the sharks away.
Yeah, but you're waist high. I don't think a great white is going to attack you waist high. I mean, they might, though.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Your imagination starts to get the best of you. We're seeing seals and stuff in the water, which is like the surefire sign.
You saw seals?
We did see seals.
You know, I was at Marconi Beach on Cape Cod. And I saw two great whites. You know this story, right?
Yes, you've told me.
Yes, a million times. What shocked me was they pulled everyone out of the waters, and there were whistles, and then people started getting mad saying, I want to go back in. And then a guy just ignored the rules and went back in on his standing, what do you call that board where you stand
That's a paddleboard.
Yeah, his paddleboard. He's like, I don't even care. I'm going into my paddleboard. He was mad. There was a great white, a football field away from him. He's like, I want to go in. People don't seem to care.
I don't know. Maybe they're just desensitized to it, but
Because they know the beachers?
My kid was like really into swimming now and swimming in the ocean. I know. And he's loving it. And my husband will also go in and he doesn't think twice about anything about sharks. But he's a great husband. And he's way better at all this stuff. And when I say all this stuff, I mean swimming with our kid. I don't love it, but my husband can't be there 24/7. So
I'm more of a pool person.
Exactly. So
what about
I
in a
have
pool?
to be in there.
Do you mind swimming in a pool?
I mean, I just don't love it.
Why?
Because I don't want to get my hair wet.
Oh.
Generally. I'm kind of that mom that stands by the side of the pool and throws the rings in, and then my kid can dive for the rings and swim back like an elaborate game of catch.
Do you guys think, by the way...
Fetch. Yeah. So he's a dog, not a kid. Has anyone seen Lucas? Is he an actual person?
It'd be funny if I came in and he was like a golden doodle.
Can I share a totally random theory that I have no evidence on?
Yeah, of course, please.
Yes. I think pools are getting colder.
Wow. In what way?
I don't know why. I feel like...
Or maybe you're getting older.
It could be. But I feel like back in the day, a lot of pools were heated or something was going on. Now, every time I get in a pool, it's freezing. It must be me.
I've never had a pool in my house, but you know how much it costs to heat a pool?
Yeah.
It's
not,
well, I don't know,
cheap.
but I don't know. Lately, every pool I guess in feels freezing. I don't know. So this theory, no one's going to back me here. No one's got my back?
I'd rather back Maggie's Brazilian butt lift for home run hitters theory.
You know, you go to a local...
That's a good one.
Okay. No one's got me here.
I mean, I went in the pool this weekend.
How was it?
It was definitely colder, but it also wasn't super hot though. I assumed it was more had to do with that.
Don't do it, EJ.
It was 80 degrees, so I thought maybe it's not that hot out here, so maybe that's why the pool's a little cold.
There you go. It's funny. Also, I'm caught up. It's been kind of cool here on the East Coast.
Right.
So now, everything feels colder. Yeah, I don't know. We ought to check the science on this.
What, go around to everybody's pool? And
I think people think, I
thermometer?
don't know. Maybe people think with global warming, they don't need to pay for the heater anymore. I don't know what's going on. I just feel like pools are getting colder.
You're having this problem at your pool, Perloff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
Our pool's getting colder.
I think that
Which
it's
pools?
definitely me.
All of them.
All of them.
It's definitely me. No, but just pools feel colder these days.
Let's get to Andrew
Yeah,
Bogan.
please.
Enough about my vacation. It was excellent. Thank you for asking. No shark sightings. I did get it waist deep in the water, which is good for me. And and some of the great joys of parenting, you're never sure when they're going to come, right? Like we know certain things, kids graduate, school plays, stuff like that. There is no more, there hasn't been a moment where my child has been more excited than him miraculously getting a hole-in-one in miniature golf.
No way.
The whole universe
Wait,
had
a
to come
hole-in-one in
together for
miniature
this.
golf?
He's 6 years old. Do you understand
He's
the
a
amount
dog.
of...
We just learned this, too.
he's a Labrador Retriever. Do you understand, like, the wind, the windmill, the waterfall, excuse me, everything had to align perfectly for a 6-year-old to get a hole-in-one?
Okay. Way to go.
That was Lucas's reaction.
And I honestly think he wasn't even that excited until Andy and I were both like, yeah. And then he realized, like, oh, gosh, maybe this is a big deal.
I did something.
Yeah.
You kind of just need to get it going in the right direction. Then the slopes. Anyway, how many lobster rolls did you eat, or how much lobster?
Honestly, too much. And I think my body's going through withdrawal right now because I haven't had a lobster roll in like 12 hours.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
You can get lobster rolls here in the city, but they cost an arm and a leg.
Silly. Stupid.
Now I'm jealous.
I'll wet my pants.
One of the famous lobster roll, trucks, Cousins lobster rolls came around to my new apartment building, and
That's
Andrea's
nice.
like, oh, I'm getting lunch. We're gonna get something, and she came back. She was like, well, this is good. Cost us $65. But
Yeah.
Oh, the food's so expensive there. That's the one thing I would change about this one vacation destination.
Okay.
Or everywhere.
Wait. You're not going to tell us where this one. Are you still trying to hide it from Manny?
No,
where
I
you
said
were?
I was a Cape Cod.
Yeah, she said she was at the Cape.
Yeah, you just don't want to get specific because we all know that Maggie will not tell Manny where she's going on vacation for some reason.
I thought she was in Norway.
Even when that vacation is Mexico, which is the country he is more familiar with than any of us.
Yeah, my mom grew up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very familiar with the Mexicans.
I'm just saying, Manny, you can come on vacation with us anytime.
I appreciate that.
You're going to have to go in the water with
Oh.
Lucas, though.
Do you guys want to hear?
You're Manny.
By the way,
we will pay you nicely.
The former camp counselor hasn't heard that one before. The Manny is the Manny.
Listen, offer still stands, man.
can I explain something to Manny and you'll relate to this, Maggie, that will annoy you?
What?
My niece, who's awesome, came back from Spain, a semester abroad.
España.
From GW, your alma mater.
Oh, yeah.
And she was explaining the difference between the different forms of Spanish.
Oh, dude.
And she was saying Barcelona.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Barcelona, sí, Barcelona. Again, listen, Spanish people, I don't know why, but it's like illegal in Spain to open your mouth when you speak. They speak like it's illegal to have the roof of your tongue not, touch the top of your mouth. It's ridiculous. The way that they speak like they have peanut butter stuck in their mouths. That's how they speak Spanish. Same thing with the British people. British people speak like they have peanut butter stuck in their mouth.
But there's nobody who knows more than a college student who just came back from a semester abroad.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of that.
Definitely, yep.
And again, she's amazing. She's the coolest. But I got a lot of lectures on how Spanish language works. I was like, wow, I wish Manny was sitting here.
Yeah.
He'd be dying.
I need subtitles whenever I hear Spanish people talk.
Manny has a future in foreign relations. Like you talk like you have peanut butter stuck in your mouth. I don't know if that's going to win us any friends.
I have Dominicans, I love you guys. Foreign relations, come on. Wink.
Yeah, I think you have to say the Barcelona when you come back for at least 6 months. And then
Do you remember the Olympics when everyone was confused about how to say it? Well, actually, you guys know that was the Dream Team one, right?
Yeah, 92.
Yes.
Yeah, people were saying Barcelona. I can't do it.
Barcelona. I do Barcelona. And I've been rooting for that club for years and years. Barcelona.
It hasn't helped.
How do you your dad? Barça, Barcelona. But they say Barcelona over there. They do a TH. There's no TH. Whatever. I'm getting irrationally angry about
Don't
this.
get Manny
Because
started.
there's no TH in Spanish.
One of my great joys as a show father is when Manny cursed out a woman in Spanish at the Club World Cup game we went to because she was standing in his way and she didn't respond to English, so he just started going to town in Spanish.
Listen, man, it's either or. And you know what? In Spanish, it worked. They sat down. What do you want me to do? I'm bilingual. I got to use it.
Congrats.
Muchas gracias, señora.
Let's get to Bogish's headlines.
Let's stick with Manny for a second and EJ, our Knick fans. I believe you guys are cool still with Mike Brown being the Knicks' new head coach. But as we remember, there were a lot of names connected to that opening. Some weren't that impressive. Others were Like Dawn Staley.
I thought I did pretty well. I was well prepared for the interview, right? If the Knicks would have offered me the job, I would have had to do it, okay? Not just for me, it's for women, for just to break open that I would have to, and it's the New York Knicks. And I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks.
Dawn said that on Post Moves, the podcast hosted by Aaliyah Boston and Candace Parker.
Yeah, I mean, duh. Of course you had to take that job.
It's the New York Knicks, damn it.
She is from Philly.
I mean, the irony of them being the ones to hire a woman first full time as their head coach would just be unbelievable. But
what does that mean?
I just wonder about, like, I thought that Dawn Staley would have been in contention for the University of Kentucky job. Pearl, remember you and I talked about that. But would there be, would it be a challenge, to have a woman coaching a man's sport like that? It's definitely a fair question. I bet Dawn will get a shot at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
I also thought Becky Hammond would. So,
is the Knicks the perfect job for the first woman NBA coach?
I don't think so.
There's a lot of pressure.
That's why I didn't want Dawn. Nothing to do with the basketball. More to do with just that aspect. And to me, in general, I just think hiring college coaches to coach in the NBA has just been recently a marriage set for disaster.
Oh, you think Fred Hoiberg worked out?
John Beilein was one of the worst hires in the last 30 years in the NBA.
But Brad Stevens was a great hire. I mean,
that was a thing. I feel like it was a little different only because they gave him like a 7-year contract and they basically told the Celtic fans this is going to be a long rebuild, and then it ended up not being a long rebuild. But I think the mindset was set differently. You put a college coach with the normal NBA expectations, which is win now or you get fired, or you can win and get fired in the NBA. That's how hard it is. It just doesn't work. You got to give these guys time. These guys and women are used to now building programs.
EJ, I think you're underestimating the difference between the women's and the men's game is tremendous too.
Oh, definitely. No,
yeah, that would be a huge adjustment for Dawn Staley. The double going from college to pro and also going from women's to men, because it's not a different style, but there's so many probably nuances that are different that she'd have to learn like that.
I just hope they really considered her, because was it a token interview where they were, showing like they were interested? I didn't remember that she even interviewed for the job. But
no, that was a big deal. I don't think this was
like, were they ever actually serious about did they ever take her seriously?
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks never. I mean, it was the coaching search was weird. I think any Knicks fan would even admit that. But they never even, like, some teams, some teams will say, oh, we interviewed this person for the job. They never did that thing. Any guy that got an interview, or now woman that got an interview, it was just like source reporting saying that someone got an interview. So I think they probably gave her a real look. Once Jason Kidd couldn't happen, and they were like, whoever can do this, we're gonna hire them.
Did she interview the last time the Hornets had an opening, or did we just say that one made sense for her in particular to break in?
That's a great question. I kept thinking that right before he started. I think maybe she interviewed with the Hornets, but I'm not 100% sure.
Can I actually say, I actually want to disagree with you guys. I think the Knicks would have been the perfect spot for her, because you're talking about the Hornets. I mean, those teams, it almost feels like the coaches are getting hired to get fired, because those teams are so far away from winning. I mean, so far. Look at the guys who have had success. Like Steve Kerr got to take over a Warrior team that was on the cusp. It's rare that you actually get to take over a team that is talented, is battle-tested. Like, she would have been walking into a great situation. Yeah, it's all the New York BS that comes with it, but if you're talking about roster-wise, that's the best you could possibly hope for. A team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals, not a team that's in the lottery every year.
Right, but my first thought was just there'd be no patience for anybody to come in and mess this up.
But and then, for sure.
But there are the extra people who are ready and want her to fail to jump on her, and
But those people are going to exist whether she's with the Knicks or whether she's with the Hornets.
Yeah,
or
but isn't there more built-in leash in Charlotte?
I don't think so. They get rid of their coaches all the time.
Ironically, by the way, she said, I don't know. She was rumored to be a candidate. But she had actually came out publicly and said she was not interested in the Charlotte Hornets job, which is fascinating, because she said, this Knicks job was not just about her, it's about just women in general. But the Hornets did not rise to that occasion.
We're not breaking the glass ceiling with the Hornets.
The Hornets they gave Steve Clifford 4 years, James Borrego 4 years, then Clifford another 2 years. Oh, actually, Clifford's got it. Clifford was there
twice.
A long time.
Yeah, he had 2 stints.
Yeah, God, I've never heard of half of these.
Welcome to Charlotte Hornets basketball, baby.
Who's their coach right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Charles Lee.
Who is Mike
right.
Dunlap?
Yes.
He used to coach at Syracuse.
He was
an intern there? I didn't even know that. He also used to coach at Stanford, I believe. Oh no, Washington State. I'm sorry.
I don't see it.
No, that's Mike Hopkins.
Mike Hopkins was at
sorry.
Syracuse.
Mike Dunlap had
I
a
was like,
full
Mike
year.
Dunlap
He wasn't
was-
even a God. Yeah, I mean, Dawn could have been there, and if she wasn't Dawn Staley, we might not even know she was there. What is going on with the Hornets?
Can you break a glass ceiling?
And by the way, like, is there any real? I mean, the Knicks got to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's like the equivalent of being a bubble team in the West.
Come on.
Wow. And then there are the Mavericks. They reportedly asked that a Luka Doncic billboard be moved because it was too close to their arena. Feel free to name it, Manny.
American Airlines Center.
Thank you. The billboard was for the video game Overwatch, which Luka apparently loves. It had half of his face with half of a character's face with the tagline, Cowboys never die. And it was basically a block away from the front door of the building. And the Mavs asked whoever put it up to take it down and move it, and they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Luka likes his video games.
Hey, one thing that we never really talked about too much, I saw that the Lakers brass is all in Europe now to watch Luka in Eurobasket. So he bruised his knee, and everyone was like, no, we're fine with it.
I remember that, yeah.
Totally cool.
That was a little while ago, right?
Yeah.
A few weeks ago now, yeah.
Okay.
He's been playing.
All right.
And as I continue to catch Maggie up on what she missed this week, yesterday we had Perloff sharing his excitement for what veteran tight end Robert Tonyan will do in the Chiefs offense, only to find out immediately that Tonyan had been cut Tuesday afternoon. But the dream is alive. He's on the practice squad in KC.
To be fair, what I said was I actually prefaced it. I said our old friend Jeffrey Chidilla. Were you at SI with
We
him?
did not overlap.
So Jeffrey Chidilla was a cohort at SI. I was like, Jeffrey Chidilla said, watch out for Robert Tonyan. Mahomes has great chemistry with him. And then I immediately Googled. I'm like, let me check that. Robert Tonyan cut within 30 seconds. But I did read it. They said they were going to bring him back when they cut him. So, but Robert Tonyan, did he play with Brett Favre? I feel like
no. Aaron Rodgers loved him.
I know. It feels like that was so long ago. And they love this kid Tyquan Thornton, who is in New England, who's going to be really good with the Chiefs.
Speaking of older pass catching tight ends, Adam Thielen is now with the Vikings.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I understand this from the Vikings standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Why would Carolina do this?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
This is so dumb.
They want targets to Tet McMillan and Xavier Legette.
Fine. But there's other intangibles that he would bring to a team that's trying to continue to ascend. Bryce Young, this is a really important year for him. If he's terrible, the franchise is probably going in another direction, and he's labeled as a draft bust. Why you're getting rid of anyone who could help this guy for next year's 5th round pick is why bad teams stay bad.
But at the same time, though, Maggie, he is 34 years old.
Yeah,
they have 35 now. They have receivers who they really want to develop and really want to give opportunities.
Fantastic. And who's going to teach him the how? Who's going to teach him to lead them?
He was there last year. I mean, he's not going to teach Ted, but he taught those other guys that were there.
But
Ted looked great.
I know, but here's the thing about Tedro McMillan. What was the one knock on him going into the draft?
Didn't love football.
Exactly. We're getting rid of veterans who can show you how to be a veteran. Andy Dalton, your pal, Pearl, is going to have some work to do with that receiver room. And I'm not saying Legette doesn't know how to be a pro, but the guy's in his 2nd year, and Bryce Young's about to be in his 4th. These are babies in the NFL. There's pressure on them to finally, at least for Bryce, why you get rid of Adam Thielen makes no sense.
I'm going to reserve judgment to see what Thielen does in Minnesota because maybe the Panthers just got a 5th round pick for a guy who's going to do nothing in Minnesota.
Oh, I'm not expecting him to be a Pro Bowler. I'm saying his presence.
But remember, the Vikings got rid of Thielen in part because of what? Because they brought in Jordan Addison, who they wanted to get touches, right? They wanted a
and
young
he's a
guy.
Bonehead.
He's a bonehead, but he can
He's
play.
going to miss the first 4 games of the season because he's that big of a bonehead.
I mean, I don't know if Thielen's going to tell him, hey, lay off the booze and don't get in the car. But, in terms of his play, he can play. And, Addison has been a really good player for them. So
why do you think the Vikings felt like they needed him back?
I think
they've got Hawkinson. They've got Jordan Jefferson.
They got injured.
No, because none of those guys are going to be there.
Yeah, they're hurt, right?
Jefferson's coming off ACL, and everybody, they have nobody's going to be there first week.
And why? But they think this will help who the most?
Them have a body.
JJ McCarthy.
For 3 weeks until everybody returns.
But I'm just saying, why do the Panthers feel like they don't have a young quarterback who could also use help the way that the Vikings clearly think JJ McCarthy will benefit from Thielen? To not get anything back for this year, It's so dumb to me.
Unless, do the Vikings actually leaning more toward the fact that just Thielen knows what they do and they needed somebody to come in and just be up to speed as fast as possible?
Well, the Vikings side I get. I'm saying, why did the Panthers do this?
Because I'm saying maybe the Vikings brought an old friend back for just football reasons. That you're leaning on the mentorship stuff. Maybe they brought somebody in who has institutional knowledge for their system that they don't have to play catch up. Right, who's got to play a lot in week one because of the injuries. They're not getting him from McCarthy. They're getting him because they need somebody to catch passes and know what the offense is in week one. Maybe.
Yeah, to help J.J. McCarthy.
No, but they literally need bodies at wide receiver. So instead of getting a stranger, they got a guy who.
Why
knew
is
the
that the Panthers' problem? Like I'm
it's
saying,
not.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why the Panthers would even make him available. That's
And he's been available the whole time, though.
Which is silly. 888-710-4ISN. Bogues, thank you so much. Coming up, who do you trust in this scenario? We'll lay it out for you next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. So, Pearl, we got a week until the NFL opener. Tons of college football this weekend, which is awesome. But week until the season opener, your Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. Not only is Micah Parsons not signed, he's not even in Dallas. Now he was spotted at the airport taking a flight out. Cowboys don't have practice again until tomorrow. Apparently getting a second opinion now on a back issue, if there actually is a back issue, because the Cowboys said he's cleared to practice, and now all of a sudden he's out. Here's Brian Schottenheimer, says that there's going to be a ramp up for Parsons, and if he plays week 1, he will not play every snap.
The best way to get good at football is to play football, and so I would say as soon as possible would be the desired effect.
Yeah. What do you think happens over the next week?
Okay, so they practice Friday. They only have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think they might fly on Tuesday. I think this Micah Parsons thing, I don't think he's getting traded to the Packers.
Well, that would be, even if he gets traded, a trade up to the Packers after Jerry Jones just said that was the worst loss he's ever experienced as Cowboys owner to the Packers 2 years ago, and now he's going to trade him to the Packers?
Well, I mean, I don't think
right.
I don't know if that's a particular rivalry.
I don't know. I mean,
in the documentary, remember how sad they were that they didn't get to see the Niners in '95, and it was Brett Favre and the Packers. Like, we don't care about them.
I know that the Niners have a huge rivalry too, but I mean, some of the Dallas's biggest games, the Dez catch, no catch.
Yeah.
2 years ago, they got run all over. I think it's developed.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, you're not going to trade him within the NFC East because the Cowboys have been in the NFC East forever.
Yeah.
Regardless. So I thought all along it was just going to be Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott part 2, and he's going to sign like Tuesday before the game. Now I'm totally going against myself. Like, I think this is a mess. Maybe he signs, but I think this weighs into the Cowboys the first month of the season. I'm betting against them in their first game and their second game against the Giants, a game that is always a gimme for them. Now is not a gimme.
I
don't think
I want to agree with you. I think that there is just a different tenor to this. And the fact that, are we even sure this is a real back issue, not a real back issue? All this theater, it's just very, very strange. I think that Jerry just has really misplayed this one. He really did. It was different with Dak because Dak never held out. He practiced the whole time. CeeDee Lamb was away from the team, so it was a little bit different. And there's something about this Micah thing. Like, CeeDee Lamb never said, Jerry never said we had a handshake deal and now he's going back on it. This is a very, very different set of circumstances.
Yeah, but you say that Jerry's doing the wrong thing. What if Micah and his agent wanted a number that was just too big? Like, we would have killed Jerry for overpay.
The one reason why I don't think that's true is because Micah himself, now this is just his words, had said he doesn't have to be the highest paid of the market. Like, he said that himself. Yeah. So
counter, David Mulugeta, his agent, got Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they thought that much money was coming their way, but certainly some kind of massive payday. We'll keep an eye on this one. Thank you, EJ Stewart. Thank you, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, Weedos and Coffee Drinkers. See you tomorrow. We're going to preview all of the weekend's amazing college football games. Don't miss it.